Derp. Okay, so.
Matt Damon.
Good way to enter the episode there, Bob.
Yeah.
That's good.
So welcome to Wormland, episode 22. Take me somewhere nice.
Ow!
Which was based on the assumption you'd be going to the Outlands, but you get that like 4 episodes away, so I'll find some good episodes. Between now and then, and
So
we'll
rename
come
the
back
episode
around.
on the spot. I thought you were a storyteller.
You know, most people name their episodes after they're done. I kind of just wild shot guess it,
And you're
just-
wrong every time. What have
Yes.
you learned?
I'm usually behind by about 1. Usually. In this case, it's going to be about 4.
You can only name so many things after Sigil because we're not doing what you
The
want us
market
to.
is somewhere nice. Yeah, the market.
Somewhere, yeah. Well, if
Well,
That's where we're going, so-
Garrett is going to take Girac somewhere nice tonight.
Oh God.
so let's mark a few things here. Gonna use the Debbie token for the
I love you,
party
Steve.
is here on Depression Street.
Sweet.
Like we're physically there, not comment on my state of mind.
And then yeah, I don't need to lay a marker until you need to actually go somewhere. If you're going to anywhere else, so the lower ward is where obviously a lot of like the working class artisans are. This is where there is some red light district.
Okay.
But in the hive, it's not like you need to go to a specific building. People kind of just walk freely. It's not a thing. Harmonium patrols don't tend to go into the hive. And then there is a whole other... Let's just... Nope. Sorry.
So,
There's a whole
we'll
other...
start with the red light district.
Guess so.
I guess that would make the most sense. Start with the red light district.
Are we okay?
This is the
where
whole
we're gonna
other
go
path.
find somewhere to.
Okay, I will do that on one condition.
Okay.
I want you to in-game validate this to the party.
Yeah.
Find a reason why we're doing this.
You gotta talk
You have
about
to
it
talk
in
us
game.
into it because I'm not just gonna go from metagame, this is happening, to this is what we're doing for the whole episode because this could take up, think about this, all of the episode, which is fine. I'm down with that. We might get some other stuff done, but let's have this actually RP in some way.
Okay, hold on. Let me get the mindset.
Yes, that's my people. Let's go.
But this is off by about an inch, by the way. It looks like it didn't repeat. But this is
Really?
further into the hive, going this way. You would end up coming down this way. Clerk's Ward, Guildhardwood. Oh, look at that! That's the Great Market. It is almost
Oh.
definitely on the opposite side of the donut for me.
Can we just go that way?
Yeah, it's the same thing. You would go you would have to go this full length
Oh.
to get
Yes.
to there. So the bazaar is on the other side of everything, but you pass a whole bunch of things on the way,
Like the Hall of Information,
like the Hall of Information,
where we could get some more information.
That would be bad.
the Hall of Records.
Mhm.
Yes. Go. Oh, so maybe start this
Yeah,
one.
much that in a bowl too. I feel like that's probably better than trying to fondle it into your mouth. I chose my words properly.
I like fondling things in my mouth.
Yeah, I
Put
bet
on
you
top
do.
of that. Put it in there.
Yes, Daddy.
just so you know, this is being auditorily recorded.
Light
What are we doing? What is she putting in where?
It's going in my mouth.
Thanks, Daddy.
Thank you, Daddy. Okay, so, dudes,
That's already for the
Yeah.
this is in game now.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're now high.
Dudes. So, like, we need money, right?
Oh fuck, we
Like,
need so much money.
We're gonna need money.
Bro.
God,
Maybe
yeah,
it's
we're
like
gonna need.
turn out your beer or something.
Well, I was thinking, like, cause, I mean, you know, Garen and Girax are so close. And like, I mean, Girax is like is like his little buddy anyway. Like, what if we put on a show?
You mean
Like-
circus?
Well, yeah, kind of like a circus, but like,
I don't
you
know
know,
if
you're
the circus is
starting
gonna
to
be
play.
enough.
Well, no, I'm thinking like, hear me out here. Okay, so there was like a red light district around here somewhere. I saw. Well, yeah, I've seen a lot of like prostitutes kind of kicking around.
Are you
I-
offering to whore yourself out there?
no. I barely like sex. But I was thinking that Gieran and Girax are so close.
Wait, no, that's not anything.
Well,
I'm
it does.
into.
It's okay. You
No.
you like dragons, right?
Not
think of-
not like that, James. That's not.
well,
that's-
I mean, you do. You really
You know,
like dragons, Gieran.
Gieran, the other day, Girax
This is
was
a safe
telling me
space.
he thought you were
can
cute.
submit it.
Yeah, and how
Yes.
long has it been? Like, you and Gieran are so close. You might as well be enjoying it, and we could make a little bit of money, and then that would help further us into going and seeing Bahamut. Don't you want to see Bahamut, Gieran?
Roll persuasion. By the way, thanks for starting. I haven't even given the synopsis.
Sorry.
But we're good. We can just go right into it. What are we
Just
doing?
edit it in later. It's
Yeah, yeah,
fine. Who cares what Lennon thinks? It's about getting something fucked.
Yeah.
Lennon is right here.
It's the story of your sex tape. Or the title of your sex tape, rather.
No, the title of my sex tape was obviously
10.
Leathery Buttholes. We
It's
talked
leather
about.
eagle.
No. He doesn't seem convinced that that's any kind of good idea.
Okay. Well, I
Well,
mean,
he's really
like,
small, and there's
Can
a-
I
yeah,
try to
we could. And I'm still talking. I'm still trying
And I
my
can
my
add
best
my
here. I'm like,
persuasion
you know,
to it.
it could be fun, and it could be. it's
well,
definitely
here's the
helping.
thing: is Jinx had already started it with the roll, so the most I can give is that Debbie can help. Jinx, you would then get advantage on the roll, so you get a second attempt.
Yeah, one more
and it's
time.
the better of the two rolls, and that's your total.
But if I use my bardic inspiration to throw him at that,
You can use a bardic
Yeah.
inspiration.
We're really trying
Yes,
to. We're really trying to get Gieran to
Dave,
get some
okay.
dragon dick.
Okay, hold on. Let's.
No, Dave.
Yes.
Dave, we got to talk about what exactly are you doing to try to inspire either?
Alright.
Like you're trying to inspire
Sorry.
the whole persuasion in general.
Are
So
you?
what do
You have to sing an epic song about how
Dragon sex.
dragon
Oh
love
my
is
God.
the best love.
Yeah.
Just start belting it. I'll be like, what a no loves a
14.
dragon. 6 to add to that.
Oh, 14.
Plus 6, if you want to add it to it.
Oh, you plus 6?
Yeah.
like 6
Oh,
to add on.
Oh,
So 20 over
20. Fuck yeah, 20. A natural 20.
No, that's not a. Yeah, it's just 20. Yeah. Okay.
So I said
Where's
a
Gieran's
natural.
sheep, by the way?
Oh, over here.
When a no loves a dragon.
Okay. Yeah, he's despite like Rick starts serenading in the corner. When I know loves a dragon. And like you're trying to persuade him. You're like, yeah, no, we could make a lot of money out of this. And Debbie is like backing you up, being like, yeah, we already met like 5 people. I'm sure would fucking like pay to watch this. Like, you're hyping it up. You're hyping it up. Garen still seems very unconvinced. He got a 26.
Ah! Well,
Word
let's
back.
just. We'll come back to it. We'll come back to it.
Another way we
Okay.
could make money is perform musically. We've done that in the past.
Yeah,
Let's just
yeah.
get him drunk. We'll get him drunk.
They're like
Gear
not
it.
a word for knowing the Obi.
He only thinks when he thinks his dragon is dead.
I pull out grab one of my arrows and
Yeah.
just offer it to Gieran.
Oh, you're as bad as Harvey Weinstein.
No, after the display, he kind of soft through you a little bit, and was like, no. You can if you really want this, you can do this yourself, Jinx.
No, you.
No,
That's
but we've
an
really
idea.
entertained people in the past with
could.
our music.
That's true.
Rick, you're a good musician. I can, be percussion. I mean, I'm not great, but I think we could do something that might make us some cash. Right?
You guys are gonna go bust.
We could.
Wait,
I'm
what?
just saying it's an
Yeah.
option.
So, just so you know, like just as a quick sum up from the last session, after coming back from the Hands of Time, having gotten a few leads on some things in a strange contraption,
Oh yeah.
the party spent some time hanging out in Mighty Sven's old kip, while Debbie crafted some interesting new bullets.
Mm-hmm. How many did I get again? I wrote it down, didn't I? I wrote it
I
down.
think you got about 15 or so.
Yeah, I think I got 15.
Yeah. Did I tell you what they...
15 dead man's balls. I named them dead man's balls.
Right.
That's
Dead
the name of the
man's
bullets.
balls?
Yeah, the dead man's balls.
Okay.
What do they do again?
They...
What do dead man's balls do?
Are you gonna write this down right now?
I'm right now.
Just wondering. Okay. They had 1d8 necrotic damage
Oh yeah.
on hit, on top of the bullet damage.
Makes sense. Dead man's balls.
Hey, you guys, check out my dead man's balls! I made them myself.
Target makes a Constitution save,
On save.
DC 13, or lose 5 movement, and 1d4 max HP for 1 minute.
Got it.
I know it sounds a little bit complicated, but it's basically like it slows them down and drains their health slightly for about a minute, which
Right
lasts
on.
an entire.
You're disgusting.
Yeah. So you roll that 1d4
Wow.
on the side. kind of
Okay.
thing.
And then that'll do that effect. You're fucking
Yeah.
disgusting. So gross.
Oh, delicious.
Party Druid almost convinced Gnome to fuck his dragon for an audience, but even with the romantic styling of Party Bard, I shouldn't say hard, Party Hard,
Yeah.
singing When a Man Loves a Dragon,
When a gnome
sadly,
loves a dragon.
he could not be convinced.
When a gnome loves a dragon.
Can I change the bullet real quick?
Yes.
The amount of HP that it drains is equal to the necrotic damage. Not 1d4. It'll just be whatever the necrotic itself is, not the bullet damage or your bonus or anything else. Just specifically whatever you roll in the d8 is how much the drain is.
I don't know how you can scarf those things
They're
down.
so
They're so painful.
Yeah,
They're so good.
They're not that bad, are they?
Okay. Sorted.
They're sweet chili.
So,
You have melted your taste buds off.
Debbie had
No, they're fine.
They're not bad.
Not bad.
You can just have pussy. You just have balls taste buds. I'm trying to stop using the word pussy in reference to something that's weak,
I noticed that.
because pussies are not weak.
They're strong.
They are strong
Mine break
motherfuckers.
sticks in
Balls
half.
are weak.
They're stronger than, I was gonna say, they're stronger than balls. You
Yeah.
fucking flick them and the guy goes down.
Yeah.
Like pussies take a fucking pounding.
Holy
Oh yeah,
crap.
they do.
And babies come out of there. Oop.
Mm-hmm.
Well, other people's I've heard. Whoa! Sorry, I almost threw up when I said it.
So all that aside, besides making bullets, Jinx had spent some of that time, also those hours, reading up on the history of Sigil and the factions, and the formation of the factions.
Oh yeah.
So you understand more about them. Whether you do personally or not, Jinx does.
I do not personally. Because I didn't do my fucking homework
Yeah.
like I was planning on doing.
Really.
I have other homework. I'm taking my DA next week. I'm driving your side. I'm taking my DA on Friday. And I had today, and I fell asleep while I was studying, and then I have tomorrow to study.
Cram.
Yeah, I'm gonna cram. And I'm also, right before the test, I'm taking the course. There's like a little course.
It'll be fresh in your mind.
That's not really how that works. works. You need time for it to digest in your brain. Cramming right before things typically doesn't work.
Well, I'm gonna be reading all weekend,
Yeah.
like my weekend. But DA's great. I'll be making $17 an hour by next week.
Wait, isn't this your weekend?
Yeah, this is my weekend. By next week, I will be making $17 an hour.
Really?
Buy me a pony.
No, they stink.
So they're cute.
No, they're
Just get,
little
like,
assholes.
one of those pony masks and like a mitt and saddle for that.
What's up, baby? I love how
There's a
tiny
B&B
and edible
in
they are.
Germany
You can just
where
eat a
you
bunch of
can
them, like
put
I did.
your
I ate like 20. I'm like Homer
your
Simpson
little
in that
pony
episode in
through
Hell where he's just eating donuts. And
pony
he's just like, yeah,
training.
this is alright.
That's cool.
and they have a stable to stable your horse person.
Yeah, they have a lot of like BDSM type B&B and hotel places in Germany.
Oh, they're
Joey and I were looking
gorgeous.
at going for that goth festival in fucking Leipzig or wherever it was. They had two there where you could rent the dungeon overnight and just stay there. They were full facilities. That was awesome.
Oh yeah, wanna go to Germany with me?
Yeah, I do.
Both of
We
you
can go
take
stay
2
with
of
my
them
cousin.
and hold on to them.
Take
I
me
want
with
to
you.
take pictures of you holding them up to your eyeballs.
Hold them up to your
Yeah,
Oh
butt.
wait.
Oh, wait,
I
brown.
want-
I was just gonna say, somebody's gotta have a brown eye.
Okay.
Okay, here. Oh, it's gonna be good.
Good?
Yeah.
Can I eat these now?
Yeah.
Ow.
My food.
Yes, if you go to Germany, take me with you. It's very high on my list of places to go. Plus, then you'll have someone who speaks the language with you. To some extent.
Oh yeah, you speak German.
A
Right?
little bit.
Well, I was just gonna get Johannes to take us around.
1, 2,
That would
3,
make
4,
more
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
That wasn't even remotely.
That is.
After like 4 or 5, you kind of lost it.
No, I didn't. I know it. I7 is Sieben. I like it. It's my favorite.
Is that what you said?
Sieben. Yeah. 8, 9, 10. It's like 10 is. It's not a Z, but it's like CSH or something. I don't fucking know. Are we cute?
We're cute.
So cute. Look at your brown eye.
So cute. My brown eye.
I remember mein Schwester Bobby.
What?
Mein Schwester Bobby. Means my sister Booby.
Oh,
I just thought it was hilarious because the story we read in it, the little girl was named Booby.
really? You were
Fantastic.
So it stayed with me.
My sister movie. Yeah, Germany. I'm gonna go to Spain with Alex and get my ears done.
You can learn Spanish or something?
Ears? Points.
Well, yeah, I'm getting my ears
I want
pointed.
points. My ears are so big and they're already elfish.
Right.
Make them more elfish.
Are we ready to continue?
No, fuck you, yes, of course.
Yeah?
Anytime.
Yeah? It was good? It was great? Cool. So, what were you guys doing?
Well, we're not gonna get a dragon to fuck a gnome, that's
Nope,
for one thing.
apparently not.
That's where they're shot, though, I'm
He
saying.
remains unconvinced.
Alright, so we gonna go to the market next, then y'all wanna
You're
go...
lucky, Steve.
My hands, they're just...
I guess the market's as good as anything.
Mm-hmm.
Well, unless we's gonna go bard it up somewhere.
And we can talk.
Maybe
We can
do
go
that.
looking to see if there's
Market
a
or
performers
find a place
guild
Yeah. See,
to
So
find
yeah.
out
see if
about.
we can sell our... You guys are great. You're on the drums.
So you know, it's 8:30 at night.
Wait,
So
what?
we should go to a bar and get drunk and see if we can find any musicians. That's what Debbie thinks.
Right?
You don't know if the market's open all night. You have no idea.
Let's go to the
anything about
market and
city.
see if
Like,
we
you
can
would have
find-
to start asking around.
Like,
if
we
you
could go to the
wanted info.
market and then we could see if there's anything we can buy, steal. It's the same thing. And then if not, we can go to a local bar and find out where there's some good music going
That sounds
on.
good.
We
I'm
don't even
down.
know if the market's
Do
open
we-
this time of
I
night,
know,
so
that's
take
why
a
we
walk.
Where
go
do
on an
we-
adventure. What are
how-
you, just bored or something?
Sure.
Let's check it out.
All right, then.
Where else are we gonna go at 8:30 at night, guys?
Dead. We're old.
I think we rested all day.
Did we?
Yeah.
You spent a couple hours.
I made bullets.
Do we have a
Fuck
long
y'all.
rest?
No, you had your like adventure at the. You had your adventure in the hive while they had their adventure at the Hands of Time. You both met back up at the house, and then you spent some time reading while she spent some time making bullets. So other people could have maybe had a short rest in that time, but there wasn't enough time for anybody to long rest.
Okay.
But like, I don't know, you guys.
Oh, I'm.
You guys did have
fine.
a long rest before you went out
Yeah.
on your adventures. So you guys, I looked at your character sheets. Like some of you aren't at full health. I'm not sure why. Maybe double check.
I
Your
have
character sheet.
38. I'm at 38. I'm
we're
just
full.
1 health down.
Is it
don't
just?
know
I
why.
think I
Because of
got
the razor
damaged.
Oh yeah, the razor vine.
Because of the fight with the rat people.
Right, the rat people.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Oh, wait,
yes,
so
you
we
would have
haven't
been
had a long rest since then?
No.
not a long rest since then, but you did get some healing since then. That's probably whatever hit points you're at the moment. Though your wound still looks grossly infected. Ness, I'm going to mention that to you. Yeah, you notice his wound, despite your magical healing,
Still not.
is still at this point, right before you, like, as you guys are talking about leaving,
That might be
you're-
another good
you
thing
start
to
to
look
limp
at
a
for
little
the
bit as it's on your
market.
calf. Like
Yeah,
it's
I feel a little bit weird. That might be a good idea.
it's a deep gash in
Yeah,
your calf
let's
that is
go,
just like looking pustulant and green
Find
and
somebody to help
We
him
can
out.
find a cheese vendor somewhere.
What's cheese gonna do?
Be delicious.
That's fair.
That was awesome.
I mean, when you need something to be delicious,
Yeah. Cheese
you
is
can't
big.
go wrong, I guess. Oh, boy.
Or donuts.
Those
Don't ask
donuts
me
are
why.
delicious. I don't like donuts, and those donuts are fucking delicious.
I have eaten so many of them.
Don't
It's
tell
not
me how
really
much
funny.
dairy is in it.
It's 100% animal products.
It's a lot of dairy, isn't it?
There's butter, eggs, and buttermilk.
You're just cruel. She asked you not to.
She knows. She knows. Just flat out told me it's
Yeah.
okay. I only eat dairy for you, girl.
Yeah.
She specifically avoided
I did.
dairy earlier today because she was going to break some dairy rules tonight.
Because she knew.
Yeah.
See, that's it. It's already expected.
Yeah.
It's not like she like asked me beforehand, hey, is there dairy in whatever secret thing? No, she just knows,
And it's fine.
and it's just gonna happen.
I want you to try and make a vegan thing sometime, though. You should.
Mhm.
There's so many great recipes.
I have been looking at working on a vegan cheesecake actually.
I love making vegan cheesecake. Last Christmas, I made
It was good.
that. Yeah, it was like
We should play D&D,
Yeah, we
guys.
should. Yes, yes,
This
we
is
should.
great
Thank you.
recounting.
Okay.
So,
Sorry.
you guys were talking, I think, about his wound for a
Yes.
tick there, and then
Yes,
We keep going off topic.
that's what I'm saying. When we do go to the market, when it is open, whether that's now or later, we should also ask around about maybe finding out someone who might be able to take a look at that.
Probably a
Maybe
good
some
idea.
medication, something that might help
You
you.
could like
Or
keep
scouts.
an eye out while we're on our way too, dude.
In the meantime, don't fucking touch me.
Or just licks his hand and slops it across your face.
Debbie moves out of the way. Yeah, avoids your saliva hand.
Alright, let's go.
All right, let's
All right,
go.
out into the world. I will be dressed as a young boy.
okay, so you're no longer Mighty Sven.
I haven't been Mighty Sven for a bit.
All right,
Yeah.
so you toweled off a little bit.
I did. I though I liked his hair and definitely did one of these and like just was like, oh, I can see what. All right, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going out as Boy Daddy.
Boy, Debbie.
But like, are you wearing your armor?
I'm wearing a leather
underneath?
outfit. Yeah,
Okay.
my leather
Okay,
armor.
just confirming stuff. You guys are wearing your armor and your
Jinx
stuff.
is wearing the clothes that she bought in the.
Do you leave anything behind in the kit? And
Yeah.
Do you bring your backpacks and everything else, or do you leave? Do you bring just your money with you? Like, tell me right now. Decide before you're leaving. What is it exactly? Do you think you would leave behind?
I'm gonna be
If you
bringing.
have a place that you can actually stash stuff.
This is
Yeah.
the thing is I'm thinking we might want to sell some of this shit. I've got a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, I got a
That's
bunch
cool.
of random shit too I want to get rid of. I'll probably leave that giant cannon behind, maybe. I don't think you can carry that everywhere. But other than that, I don't think I'm really carrying too
Do you
much.
want your half plate anymore? I've been carrying it around forever. Rick's studded leather. I still have Sever's spear.
You're wearing a scale mail
Oh,
right
right.
now, or not scale mail, the split mail with all the
Yeah.
runes on it from the ship.
Yes.
You're technically wearing metal from the ship as armor,
I like it. It's cool.
just so you know.
Jinx doesn't have anything. Everything she owns
Is in her
is
hair.
in her hair. Pretty much. Besides her explorer's
You picked up a
pack.
bunch of stuff from like from Mighty Sven's place too. You can hawk a bunch of the stuff that you got too. You
What
don't have
does-
to keep it
What does
necessarily.
Mighty Sven have?
Well, the things that I gave you, the
Yeah,
ciphers and
the
the books
purple
and
things.
stuff.
Oh, I didn't get any of that.
Yeah, you did. You wrote
I
it
did.
down and then I don't know.
Yeah, I've got,
I got
the
one
parchments
large
of
glittering
Unless they got moved around, unless they got
the
given
Book
around.
of Stain.
Yeah, I think I got given around.
Yeah, I got them. I got my. Where'd they go? I
Scrolls
had them.
of
Oh,
the
they're
Sun
in here.
God. Yes.
I'm like, where the fuck did I put that shit?
Oh yeah, there it is.
I did not write down how many of those bludgeoning arrows I got, apparently.
The what?
Bludgeoning arrows?
Yeah. Specialty arrows.
Yeah.
I like the range, but not how many I actually got.
That's right.
Oh,
Oh wait, I got 10. It was on a different sheet.
Okay. Okay.
Weird.
Track this stuff. I'll make the inventory things a little bit easier later. I'm gonna make it a little bit easier for you and all your arrows.
I should at some point
Nothing
move some
works.
of my information that has just been haphazardly written on the edges of this
Yeah.
into something that makes sense.
If anybody needs blank sheets, let me know.
That would require me doing work.
I'm just asking. No, but I mean, like, if anybody needs on paper, not character.
I don't understand you can eat those. They're disgusting.
Well,
Whoa.
I'm still wearing all my stuff, but I'm gonna leave the like the Book of Stained Glass and the scrolls and the parchments. I'm just gonna leave it.
Okay.
At Mighty Sven's.
Because it's our house.
It's our house.
Put it back basically on the shelf where you found it.
No, it's in
You know that it's there, but like.
no, it's in a pile of all the things that
Right.
are mine. Messes. And
Yeah, because like this room, by the way, has begun to stink because there's now been between 5 to 6 humanoids occupying this size room. Remember, this kitchen and this living room together. This is the size of the room that the 5 to 6 of you were sleeping in,
Yeah.
grabbing up floor and have been occupying. So
I'm just imagining people in all their little piles be like,
yeah, it's kind of like a cross between a hostel and like a house party.
Alright, so we open up the door and the big fart cloud comes
Yeah.
billowing out. Go out
And then-
into the world.
and then the smell gets let out of the world. You shouldn't call her a fart cloud, but.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's a dragon too. Don't forget, there's
Oh,
an
yeah.
element of dragon in there, and the dragon's quite stinky sometimes.
Touche.
Ah. Humans are the worst, man.
They are the worst. They are the worst. Okay,
That
so
stupid fucking dog.
you go out into the streets of Sigil. It's about 8. Well, we'll say after some planning, it's about 9 o'clock at night. You don't know that, but like it's in the evening. It's starting to get dark. You see that towards in that direction, we'll say down the ring. Things seem to still be fairly lit in certain areas. It seemed to be like the main thoroughfares, but there's a lot of dark alleys and side streets. The hive is pretty treacherous to get through.
As
But-
I learned.
But you know that beyond that somewhere is the market ward, past the Hall of Information. We'll say that you know about that much. In the other direction, of course, is the choking black smoke of the lower ward and the Foundry. Which way you guys going?
Well, we want to go to the market, so we go over to the hive.
Yes.
Okay.
Do we go through the hive for that?
That's what he said, right? That's the direct route?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Sure.
So, just quick pep talk. Just don't look like that. Do you see how stiff she is? You see how shiny she is? Don't do that out there. So if you could just
Oh, I already went through there, guys. There were some really nice people.
don't do that. No, don't talk. Just don't talk to people. Okay, just stay close.
They were.
Watch your
Yeah.
fucking 6. Rick knows what I'm saying. We're going through some dangerous areas. Please don't get attacked by people.
We'll stick together. We'll keep an eye out.
Don't buy shovels from beggars.
We'll look after one another.
And just
We've got each other's backs.
stay
It's fine.
close.
Yes.
Stay close.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody's so nice in that part of town.
The dragon brings up the rear, by the way.
Yeah.
Off we go.
All right. Is Garen just on the dragon? Maybe Garen's just riding him.
Dragging along
Makes
behind
sense.
this
God,
deal.
is it wrong that I have more faith in Gyrix than I do of Garen? I'm just like, Gyrix, man, he's gonna scare off anyone who comes up. Gyrix just be like, hey, friend! Fucking no, man. No.
No,
Don't
man.
buy a shovel from a beggar.
As you learn. As you learn.
As you learn.
Okay, so you delve into the hive. Who is leading the way? You're leading the way?
Mhm.
Okay, excellent. I would like you to roll a survival check.
Okay. It's a 4.
For total?
Oh, God.
Well, no, wait.
Nice.
Survival is.
Can we maybe...
I think
Oh,
Garen
no.
should be
Yeah,
leading
it's
the
total.
way.
You a little bit more of
This
this?
time.
Yeah,
Like,
8 total?
yeah.
Okay, so
I don't
Ness
know
starts
what
leading
it
you into the hive. You follow along, and like everything is fine. You go through. It's just a matter of how long it's going to take you to travel, for the most part. I'll let you know if you end up getting absolutely lost. But let's see. You start to make it down Depression Street.
Oh, God.
Find your way into an alley that seems to just run along. I mean, there's a lot of people down this way. It seems well traversed. There are a lot of fiends walking about. You see people that are like half snake people, like the lower half of them are
Yuan-Ti!
Yuan-Ti.
Yuan-Ti! They're my first D&D character ever was Yuan-Ti.
There are
Her name
also,
was Sicily.
but you also notice one that is not a Yuan-Ti, but definitely. Well, you wouldn't know any of these creatures to look at them. You wouldn't know them, but a Yuan-Ti is like a snake person, where the lower half is a snake, and the other upper half is just like a reptilian-ish person.
Okay.
So you see a few of those around at night. Also, you end up spotting one four-armed female upper form, lower snake person. The upper form, as opposed to the other snakish people that you'd seen before, is more like human-like and very, very beautiful with luscious brown locks, but big billowing wings, like bird wings behind them, 4 arms, and but looks like nasty fangs and some red
Don't
eyes.
stare.
There are certainly some weird people out there. Thanks,
I mean, you do, of course, see humans and elves and dwarves. You do see the occasional angelic type being and the occasional cloven-hoofed individual. Sometimes even a barrier or two on their way. In the first part of the travel, though, oh boy, you're gonna have to play for Steve too, eh? Pretty much. Oh yeah, what do we have for weather?
What did this do?
Oh yeah.
Don't! Whatever you do, don't!
Don't not tell me what to do!
Generally, the weather seems to be pretty cloudy above. You can't see the other side of the inner tors, and it looks like it has that same feeling. Even though you're in the most unnatural places, both Rick and Jinx both feel like the twinges of rain. The signs that rain might be impending.
That's where.
You're in the hive. Okay. So, as you're traveling along, you do encounter a group of just small horned. There's like maybe about, we'll say 6 or so small children. First time you've seen like children in a while, and they all seem to be
Wild.
maybe tieflings. Some are kind of red-skinned and hued. Others are purple. There's one that's even blue with blue hair as well, and they all have horns of various type protruding, and they're all about yay tall and scraggly clothes in rags. They approach the group just hands out, just speaking with like some of them with like even forked tongues, just being like.
I give them some coin and
alms.
watch for pickpocketers.
Alms. You give them some coin. How many coin do you give?
Just some coppers or whatever, right? Some cheap stuff.
No, don't tell me. You gotta mark it.
What's EP?
Electron.
Oh, Electrum? I don't think you have any. You shouldn't have any.
Maybe I wrote it in the wrong spot.
You should have CP and SP and GP. Maybe
CP's
PP.
copper.
Okay. I give them 1 gold piece.
1 gold piece?
Mm-hmm. And 4 coppers. Because I only have 4 coppers and golds right now.
Okay.
But I am fucking watching them for pickpocketing like so hard right now.
Okay, I want you to hold on. Because of how much you're getting. Okay. Yeah, no, they're quite happy with that. You go ahead and make a perception check, please.
Proceeding very lowly. Very, very low. Proceeding so low. At an
Solo.
8.
Solo.
Okay. Yeah, no, they just seem very, very happy with it, with
I love you, Dave.
their catch, and they're like, oh, yeah. Do you need directions or anything?
Yeah,
Says
we're
the
looking
lead
for the
one.
way to the market.
Oh, that's a long way that way up. I don't know how to say that. Well, how you would give directions in Sigil. It's like the long way around or the short way around, right?
Yeah.
So, the long way that way. Quite a few wards over, but it should be open all night. Good
Oh.
luck.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hear that? It's open.
Alicia is playing her beliefs. Because Debbie will help people who are clearly impoverished. She just hates humans and people with more than her. Still a good character. Just saying.
Way to reinforce that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm reinforcing it for y'all too, so y'all remember to play your fucking beliefs.
Okay. So after the momentary distraction of the beggars, you continue on into the city. Nest continues to lead the way.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to go ahead and roll another survival check.
Were we going anywhere near the right direction, by the way? Like when the kids told us?
Yeah.
21.
Okay, now we're doing much, much better.
Yes, we are.
Alright, get out the other map. Alright. Just flip this around so you're not from about there. This way here, yeah. Okay. You get down through here and get onto that Shadowbound Street. That's about. Yeah, you made good time. That's about another hour's travel. 2.
Where are we now?
Really, we have a billion trillion miles to go.
Cool. So as it gets on in the night, you've gone through the district of the Hive. Now that you've seen more of it, you see that it's quite densely packed here. That there are shacks upon shacks. There are you can tell that there are homes built on other homes with no clear staircase or any kind of ladder
I
necessarily.
love that.
Just 2, 3, 4, sometimes 5 stories tall. There are buildings all around in the distance that you can see stick out over the horizon. Yeah. Court. This is still.
Things that are flavored like wine.
Yeah. The Hall of Records. Well, because of the visibility, because of the cloud cover, you're not seeing too much further down. But you you're making it through. Let me see what you encounter. Okay. So you get into the middle of this crossroads here, and in the middle of the crossroads, there seems to have been some sort of horse cart accident. This is like the first time you've seen horses drawing carriage here, but it seems to be a cart full of merchandise. There is a form, some figure of some sort of lump about humanoid shape on the ground underneath a blanket, and there seems to be a black cloaked individual with frizzy kind of teased hair presiding, like going over it, doing some sort of ritual, walking around in a circle, and with a book in its hand. There's a person, there's a driver of the cart, or of the horse, who seems to still be like sitting with reins in hand, kind of waiting impatiently for this to get over with, not able to move, and just a few bystanders kind
Do you
of
want to go see if
watching.
you can do anything? Can you help?
There's a blanket over some, and then someone with a book is like doing something around the lump with a blanket
So
over
basically,
top.
there's a body on the ground with a blanket over it.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's a person going around with a book doing some sort of rite around that body.
Ritual.
And then there's a horse and cart that is waiting for this to be done with before it can continue on.
Necromancer.
It looks like it might have been some sort of horse cart accident, like maybe the person might have died. Like the equivalent of a car accident. There's a car accident and there's somebody who's performing some sort of rite over the body.
Okay.
Oh, just keep moving. I can't imagine we can do much here.
Well, we should see if we could help. Just if we could do something.
I'm gonna wait for Felicia to get back. There's character entries here. I've been waiting for.
Thank you. Probably crunchy.
Oh, she's back? There she is.
Sorry.
So as this is going on, there's somebody in a similarly black clad, like the figure who's going around with the book seems to be dressed in very specific black robes and black cloak that, well, it's not adorned with anything fancy. There's no embroidery on it. There's no silver or gold thread to it or weird markings. It seems to be of a certain cut. And there's another individual who seems to be wearing similar garb that is, I'd say, maybe about 4'5" tall, looks vaguely cape-like, but it's very juxtaposed with the fact that they're very, very pale, and that they have very slicked back hair, a very, very thin mustache, and they notice you. He notices you, staring at the accident, and begins to approach your group.
Hey there. Is there anything that we could do to help?
Well, sure. Have you decided what to do with your body after death?
What's
going to happen with your corpse?
I've never thought about it.
Listen, the dustmen always need fresh corpses. I'm willing to give you 1 silver. 1 silver right now. If you sign this contract saying we can have and claim your corpse instead of your patron
Don't we
deity.
have to live then?
Doesn't sound like a very good deal.
It's so Monty Python, it's not even funny.
Like, what are you going to do with our bodies afterwards? This isn't like a sex thing, is it?
Yes, what is done with the bodies
When
after?
you care, you're dead.
It's true. Throw them in the dumpster.
I mean, those in good form usually get shipped off for magical experimentation. Those that are lucky get dissection to learn more about the anatomy and the way the living work before they pass on to the dead book.
This guy's gonna fuck your corpse.
Yeah.
Wow, look at his eyes.
Looking up and down, I can see that you're all still alive. You're not just
What
dead
turned you off?
petitioners. Well, you're not just part of the dead petitioners that roam sometimes around these places.
Who are the dead petitioners?
Those who have passed on from life and are here more, we'll say, legitimately by their deity's decree. you're here because of whatever fluke, and there are certain people who are born here, but we can't help that. Listen, have you thought of what's going to happen when you face true death?
What? So, like, the people that die come here?
That's how this works, yes. This is where the gods preside. This is where they hold the realms and welcome the souls of those passing on from the afterlife.
So I could meet my grandma?
I'm sure if she remembers you, of course, but I mean, that's if you want to even bother a petitioner when they're in the happy place.
We could easily
How?
find her
But yeah,
grandma.
you could meet anybody who's passed on.
How do you find them?
You go to where they believe they would go when they died. You just have to find that place.
I think we'll find grandma if we go looking for Bahamut.
Or in the nine
Oh,
hells.
Bahamut.
Yeah, Bahamut.
You all worship, and then looks you up and down and says, "Oh,
I hold up my.
truth and justice and all that."
She's. That's what I said. Stop. Don't do that. Don't do that. Whatever that is, don't do it.
If you're fans of the Dragon King, yes, you could certainly attempt to hold court with them, or the 7 golden dragons that preside as his proxies.
They're here?
No, they'd be in Mount Celeste. But that would also be where your grandma might be.
This guy is so patient. It's not.
He's got this contract still in his hand,
He's
and
just like sign.
he
sign,
goes,
I'll tell
no,
you.
he licks the end of the quill. Just like, 1 silver right now. Then we just have full claim wherever you are. If we happen to be around, the dustmen have a claim over your
How about
corpse.
this? You give them
We take you to the mortuary.
60 gold.
Kieran, you like science? Why are you signing up for that?
60 gold each. Come on, that's fair.
I'm not
Our bodies are worth more than a
signing
silver.
over my,
What do you care?
Actually, they're not. He ties up the scroll and tucks it away. If you're not down with my art, that's absolutely fine. There are plenty who need the drink. Have a nice day, folk.
Thank you for the information, Mr. Man.
The small halfling undertaker guy just walks away.
Wow, what a skis.
I love
was
it.
really hoping we could get Garen to sell his body.
That was a character that Flynn helped me come up with.
I love
His
it.
name was Nix.
I don't like
It's
it.
just he wants to buy your body. after you're dead.
For sex thing.
All right. So we're gonna continue to try to travel through the city. So pass this around. Where this lady came from.
I would like that. That's my lighter. I would like it back.
Okay. Sure.
And I would like that forwards.
Think,
Where is?
I'm gonna keep it.
I'm gonna punch you in the dick. In
It
the
doesn't matter.
dick.
Oh, man.
Good thing my
Brooklyn
dick's on the
Nine-Nine where
inside.
Sully and Hitchcock have to get in a fight, so you start punching each other in the dick. Why are you fighting? He punched me in the dick, but he punched me in the dick, so I punched him in the dick.
Oh lord. I love Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
So weird.
I'm somewhere between fucking
That's what that's from.
Chelsea Peretti and Rosa.
I need you to
Constantly.
roll another survival check.
Oh no! Oh.
That's what I was hoping for.
Okay, well, it's a total of 6.
It's a
Such a
total
hard
of
ass,
6.
man.
I
We're
mean,
going
you
wedding
could
dress
always
shopping
use
right
some of
now.
your belief
Yeah,
points
yeah,
there.
yeah.
Oh.
It's perfect. And she's
Yes,
lemons
okay,
and a
I'm gonna
goddamn
use
bowl.
the one to do a reroll.
So
That's
2
the way,
points.
'cause, like,
And then she turned out to be
Okay.
bi. Leonard.
and,
Yeah.
and like this is what I mean.
Use
2
She's
points?
such a fucking
Yeah.
perfect
Maybe
character.
Yeah.
I was
It's
just.
advantage, so it's what the better of the two.
Yeah.
rolls.
shouldn't Rick assist?
The same number?
Shouldn't
No.
Rick assist?
10. It's now a 10.
Shouldn't
She's
Rick
like this
assist?
hard-ass badass.
Okay, so I now have
Shouldn't
3
Rick
points left.
Or no, I guess because we're in a
21?
city.
What?
Are your survival is high?
It was a
Yeah, but
total
it's
of 10.
useless in the city.
Is it?
I don't know. Rick's never been a big city person as a ranger. I don't know.
But like survival
What
is
is-
universal. What's your
Yeah.
Survival. I
It's like +6.
but
Yeah, mine's +6 too, actually.
maybe on the next check.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Let's continue
Um,
to like after this little stopover.
I did suggest you leading the group a while ago. If you just fucking step up and be a
So
leader.
we're just gonna deal with the consequence
Yeah,
of a
Rick
roll.
doesn't
Then
go
maybe you
city.
guys can like change up who's leading after this roll.
Ha. Okay, what's the
So
consequence?
this roll was just a little lower. So just give me a second.
A little, just a little, just slightly
Oh.
I
lower.
was gonna
Lower.
mark off your belief points here too. Just use 2 belief points.
Yeah, so I'm now at 3.
I'm almost at 6, just so you all know.
Ew.
You know what happens at 6, right?
Dragon fucking?
Yeah, it does.
Yes. Because I am exactly the kind of person to use my aggregated points to
Please.
do something
Please do.
stupid. Like, maybe
Can we give away points?
No.
when we go to
Yeah.
see Hack, use my 6 points to say how that goes.
Hack and Garrett and Girax getting a threesome.
Hey man, I'm getting us backstage one way or another.
We're all gonna have sex.
Yeah, that's what's.
And the party too. Sorry. I'm gonna hang with Joe too much. She's influencing me.
Oh,
Okay.
That man is literally all about getting threesomes and foursomes going all the time. Sorry, besides the point.
I'm gonna cut that part out.
Yeah, probably.
Fine.
Well, I'm sure he wouldn't like me talking about things he's into.
No,
That's
probably
inappropriate.
not.
As it is.
Well,
Well, I'm not
that's
shaming
alright.
him. I didn't mean
No.
it in a shaming way.
No.
I'm
it's
like,
not.
power to ya. I hope you get to fuck all the bitches for your birthday.
Did I? Oh yeah, that's exciting. Good for him. Did I tell you?
Go ahead, I need a quick
Okay.
second.
Did I tell you about? Or were you over? Did you overhear telling me about the guy that I work with? Who I was telling CJ, I think this guy that's on my crew. He's 19, and he is like he's kind of annoying, but he's also very sweet and very like open-minded about things. Like
Oh, I think you did mention this
yeah,
guy,
we were
yeah.
like talking about. He's telling me about how he likes to meet people on Plenty of Fish,
Oof.
and yeah, I know. I was telling him to go over to OkCupid. I'm like, it's
Well,
way
not much
better.
No, it's not
Well,
much
it's-
better.
Yeah, it's way better than Plenty of Fish.
Well, it is Plenty of Fish is a hookup site.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, I just want to like meet people. I don't care, guy, girl, whatever. If I get a connection with them, that's cool. And I'm like, that's awesome.
Shit, man.
And then when I'm mentioning, because like at work, when I mention you or Lennon, I just call you guys my partners.
Yeah.
So I was mentioning that, and he's like, oh, so you have 2 partners, because I like went from talking about Ryan to talking about you. Oh, you have 2 partners. Like, oh no, actually I have 3. He's like, oh, that's cool.
That's cool.
That's cool. And then my fucking crew chief like overhears this. He's like, what?
Yeah.
That's crazy. What the fuck? And I'm like, not really.
Can I tell you something really fun? Like, just real quick, I know you're about to continue. So,
Yep.
my ex coworker, Magdalena,
Mm-hmm.
who is one of my very few Twitter friends, she's not only, I believe, now gender fluid and taking on they, but has changed their handle name to Daddy. So, and they're also
Fantastic.
trying to raise money for top surgery so
Oh,
that they
that's
can get
fantastic.
transitioned, but they're always posting about like loving like all this lesbian shit, which is fucking great, but also like posted earlier today, I love my poly friends, and just like how everybody that they knew, and like this young person, like they're barely 20 years old, 21 maybe,
Mhm.
and they're super like fashionable and fashion conscious. Like a lot of their posts are very fashion oriented,
Mhm.
but this is just like a person who has shed all previous identities and is becoming their own thing, and like their own thing is this whole other
I love seeing that so
every
much.
time I think of Steven Universe, I'm not a
That's
boy or a girl,
fantastic.
I'm an experience, and I'm just like, yes, just fucking
Yeah.
fuck the gender roles, be whoever you are.
Exactly. I love it. That's my the whole brand. The whole fucking Dead Moon brand.
Mm.
That's what we're preaching, is just be yourself, do what you love,
As
help
long as consent
people.
is there, it's all good.
Yeah, as long as you're not harming
That's
anybody and
why-
you're not putting them in an uncomfortable position.
That's
you
why
be
I was
yourself.
okay with a gnome fucking a dragon, because the dragon can consent.
Yeah.
The dragon is sentient enough to be like, Okay.
Oh yeah, Girax didn't even.
Like just the pink.
I want to know if Girax consented to that. He didn't roll.
Yeah,
I should roll for persuasion
was
for
like
Girax. Yeah.
staring at Gieran from across the room.
What will my fate be?
I need to go. Lifts his leg up, starts licking himself, just
In a
like
moment
the
where his slime was
dog.
like hanging out on the floor, and then Gary was like, "No," and he just kind of.
God, isn't that awkward? Can you imagine having an animal that is kind of your pet but is sentient enough to like give you weird looks when they're sucking their own dick in front of you? Which is what that dog does.
Beastly.
You know?
Motherfucker.
He's creepy. He
He is
hangs outside the room when I masturbate. And then like needs to sit where I was.
Really?
Yeah,
He's fucking creepy.
that is fucking creepy.
Sorry.
My cat has a weird ability to always like want to sit on my chest while I'm masturbating, and I'm like, not the
Not
time
now.
for this.
Later, kitty.
This is
No. But mommy,
Yeah.
you're petting yourself.
And like,
Pet
like
me.
she's doing that like purring like.
Oh, that's so creepy.
My cat used to fucking
Kelly's
suck
cat
on my
did that
neck.
the whole time we were fooling around.
I got a hickey from my cat once.
Fucking weird cat.
When I was a teenager, yeah, my cat. She'd sit there and she'd purr. You'd sit there and read, and she'd sit on your chest and she'd purr, and then she'd suck on your neck.
Yeah, she's going for nipples. Yeah, Butthole
Yeah.
still does the thing where he like tries to
So
suck the
pretty.
blanket.
Oh, they suckle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Take it away
butthole.
from them.
I haven't seen buttholes yet.
No?
No, not since I got here.
Maybe he ran away with the raccoon.
Maybe, that's fair. That'd be a beautiful relationship. What?
He's on the bed right now. Okay.
I'm here. I'm still here. I'm listening.
Yeah?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, Ness starts leading you through parts of the hive that are like, okay, yeah, there seems to be a bit of a crowd going this way. It seems like a likely way to go.
Aren't I? I'm getting
and,
lost.
And you're traveling through, and you're like, yeah, and you pass this really amazing looking building here that is just like two or three stories that seem to be like raised up by about two, like it's 2 stories worth of like archway of like arches of like almost like a bridge, like a raised thing, and then it's about a 2 or 3 story building on top of
Oh,
that.
cool.
So it's not amongst the regular pair, and you get so enthralled with that. You end up into this area that's like, oh, this doesn't look quite right, and there seems to be a crowd making their way through here of about a dozen or so people or beings, and you have a feeling that you're not quite sure where you are. You still feel like you're going the right way along the tube
Mm-hmm.
of the torus of Sigil, like you're going the long way.
Right. Yeah.
Like you're constantly climbing a hill.
Right. We're still following that long curve.
Right.
Okay.
Everyone in Sigil have like killer calves.
Probably.
Killer calves. And I would like. So, who's super paying attention to extra stuff besides
Debbie would be for sure.
Debbie and Rick, right? They would be the.
fucking watching the crowd. Smell this. Smells like
Can I get you both to roll perception check, please?
Hey, girl. What, did I just shove my fingers in my dog's face and you didn't like it? What?
20. Doesn't have 20.
Oh.
20? Okay.
What perception? Okay. 17.
17? Nice, okay. So you both got actually really good. You end up noticing that along the way, just off the beaten path, like, so the area that you're in, I would describe as, like, first of all, it definitely smells more brimstone-y in this area. There's kind of a charred, kind of barbecue smell, kind of taste in the air. It's actually kind of greasy. The buildings around here are actually kind of more like ruins. They're not being used for anything. Looks like a battleground might have happened. There's rubble here and there, and it looks like it might have been at one point some sort of battle area.
But not like recent.
Not recent,
Okay.
but like something happened here and nothing got repaired. That this has just been left this way, and this little section seems to just be like a dead area of town. Not dead like in a graveyard sense, just
Way
dead
to
as
go.
in like
Where
the-
are
there
we?
are no buildings. There's people passing through, and they Rick, you do catch on the edge of vision, just like out further than just in the smog itself. On the edge, you notice like the flutter of like maybe bat wings or something, but something larger than a regular bat, just out there. But then both you and Debbie notice maybe 10 feet off the path to the left, a bit of a shiny black cube or something, or like the sides of the point of a cube, like one we'll say like if it was a die, it would be like this much of it sticking up out of the ground in a bit of rubble, and it looks like it'd be easily cleared off.
Oh, he's totally going to check that out.
Clear. I don't know. I get a bad
What do you
feeling
see?
about
What's happening?
this. Nicholas, what does your elf ass
I will
see?
investigate it in the most delicate fashions.
Do you say anything to the group, or do you just start walking
No,
off?
I say, hey guys, what's that? And then I wander over.
I have a bad feeling about this. We should be careful in this place.
Check for traps.
Everybody, watch my 6.
Okay. Here, Dave, careful. Okay, so you approach it.
Mhm.
Okay, what's everybody else
You don't
doing
smoke at all.
in relation to it?
They're watching my goddamn 6.
They're watching. They're from 10 feet away. Like you move 10 feet closer to the thing. Okay.
Yeah, y'all gotta just make sure that they ain't gonna get nobody
Okay.
jumping on me.
I'm kind of like just standing, like maybe trying to make it so like whatever you're doing isn't too.
Yep. And like as I approach it, I'm like kicking at the ground a little bit just to see if there's any sort of wires or strings that are coming out from it.
Okay. Make an investigation check.
I'm investigating so hard, it's not even
Investigate
funny.
the fuck out.
I'm gonna investigate like a motherfucker. 20.
20. That is excellent. So you're looking around. You're being super careful as you approach. You're using all the caution. Like nobody else seems to be noticing what you guys are doing, and you get closer to it. There's no traps you can see. There's no springs. There's no anything like that. You approach the side that is, and like now that you're seeing it, it's probably about 3 feet wide. Like on a face if it was a full cube, but only about, I'd say a third of it is sticking up out of the rubble.
I'm gonna start brushing away bits and pieces of it, but like with a gloved hand. Like all of the rebels around it, so that more of it can be exposed.
Okay, so you started brushing it off?
Yeah.
Okay. As Debbie begins to brush off
Oh,
on the dust off of it and like revealing more, it's like it's super shiny and seems to be like averting the actual dust in a way, like it, even though it's embedded in so much of it. As you brush it off, it easily doesn't cling back onto it or whatever. The surface becomes shinier and more exposed and becomes very tempting. And as you're brushing it, there's a slight vibration coming from the cube, and the material of the cube seems to almost liquefy as it pools upwards
I move away from it
into the
very
this is
quickly.
this is before you're reacting. It pools upwards into the air, forming what looks like the head of like some screaming human face with 2 large bat wings that are coming out from it. And it has large green glowing eyes. But there's a clink you can hear as a couple of flasks. I didn't go for that yet. Hold on. 3 obsidian flasks seem to, in the hollow where the cube was formerly and is now just rubble, there are 3 now flasks on the ground that seems to have clinked out of it as it formed up into this
Like a
weird
gin type thingy.
which starts screeching. And I would like an initiative from all of you. This is a fight right away, and I wasn't expecting it.
Oh my god!
You put something for me to look at, and then you told me not to poke it.
I didn't
What?
tell you not to poke it. I didn't tell you shit all.
14.
Okay, hold on.
I didn't roll very high.
Okay, I got a 14. That's a Rick. Who got higher than 14?
Me,
What did you get?
16.
Okay.
It's not very good. I rolled really low.
I rolled really low too.
What did you roll?
Total of 8.
Total of 8. What did you get?
6.
Ooh, I thought I was still top of the fuck.
Yeah.
It's gonna be them and then me. Jeez, and I rolled low.
Okay.
It's so warm.
Are you warm?
Yeah, well, my face is warm. Maybe I got some sun. I put sunscreen on, but
Okay.
I got it from the side.
you look over. I'm so white that like sun hits me and like I go outside in the morning and I'm like, oh god, my legs, ow. Just shield my legs.
Oh, I get so brown. I love it.
I don't want to.
I used to hate it. I used to like wear 60 plus sunscreen all
Do
the
not
time and
end
have
up like
fucking-
Melissa Leatherface. That's
No,
me.
I will not end up like Melissa Leatherface.
Lucky I got just enough Italian genetics to offset everything else, so I got just pasty and roasted.
Yeah. You are still pretty
Okay.
fucking
Guys,
pasty.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Who wants to take on double duty of actually playing Garen for this fight, for this type of thing? 'Cause if nobody wants to, that's fine, and I will play him in a minimal fashion.
Nobody else is going to volunteer. I can do it.
You wanna do it?
Be interesting to see how he works.
Okay.
I just don't want the extra work.
Yeah, I don't really want the extra
Is
work.
fucking a dragon count as an action or bonus action?
Do it. We're gonna get this shit done.
I already rolled initiative for him. He got a 9.
God, we are pathetic today.
Yes.
Guys, like just real
Good
slow moving or what?
He's got a whole page of
just
Pokemon
to-
powers.
I just want to give you kind of a sense of what
Oh,
it
you have a
looks like.
picture?
Yeah, of course.
Of course he has a picture.
Lennon was ready for this. There.
What is
No.
that? The cornflakes one?
Yeah, it's really good.
Cornflakes.
It's like my favorite one.
It's delicious. Have you ever had that before?
I've never had this
One
one
of my-
Oh, they're
before.
One of my
delicious.
mom's favorite movies, but it's called
That's more of a
Saving
nightmare
Grace.
version.
But it's old
Oh,
British lady.
shit.
who's, like,
That's a nasty
kind of wealthy, got a
version of
manor,
it.
but her husband
It's also
dies, and
a-
it turns out getting massive debt, so she's going to lose her estate.
That's cool.
And her gardener is a Scotch stoner who convinced her to start growing wheat. She's an amazing gardener. And
Ha!
great scene where a couple of her friends in town get baked, and she goes into the store they work at, and there's these old ladies behind the counter fried out of their mind to do cereal. They're like, "You like some cornflakes? They're divine."
So
It's an amazing
Ew.
movie.
That's
Saving
what you
Grace.
fight. One of those.
What
Actually,
is
this
it?
one exactly. This is what I was picturing.
And what's it
The
called?
dark hair, but it's got green glowing eyes. You don't know what it's called. Are you gonna ask it?
It's called fucking Kill It. That's what it's
I'm
called.
asking you.
You're asking me
What good does it do not telling us what it's called?
because you don't know what it is. Maybe you can ask somebody about it after. In game, come on.
Well, it's not like my character knows. I just want to know what it's called.
Okay, fine. It's called the Vargoil.
Pretty creepy.
Now I'm going to look it up and see what its weaknesses are.
Yeah, cool.
I'm just kidding.
I know, but like, come on. Found that.
Look at you.
Right?
Oh.
Disgusting snack.
Why did he not take Magic Missile? Steve, you're a goddamn weirdo.
I have magic missile.
No, he's got like a spell book with all these spells
That's
he could
good,
copy, and he
sweetie.
didn't
I'm
copy
happy for
Magic
you.
Missile, at least not yet.
It
Magic Missile is a dope spell.
I like it.
is. It's the best spell.
There's
'cause,
another
like,
one that could have given him Eldritch Blast and Witch Wolf, but he didn't take those either.
Oh, yeah, but Eldritch Blast is like a pretty dark spell. He's not very.
Badass.
Yeah.
We're not going to bother with a battle map or anything for this. We'll
Okay,
go straight
cool.
into
Oh,
it.
we're
So
fine.
this thing is just about like 10 feet away from most of the group, but it's right
Oh, he
in
did
front.
take. Oh, he has.
of Debbie. The first thing after it manifests is start shrieking, and it's going to.
It's shrieking and queasing.
Yeah, it's going to shriek.
Is Garen's book or box over there? Because I need the spell cards for me to figure out what to do with them. I don't know
Yeah.
what specifics it is.
Does anyone want a donut while I have the plate?
Donut, donut.
Here you go.
Lenny, you want a donut?
Oh, yes, please. Thank you.
You want a donut?
I'm good. The rest can be for you four.
Okay. So the thing lets out like a screech so loud, so stunning. I need you all to make a wisdom saving throw.
Bye. That's my dumb spell.
I need a new die. This one's broken. Critical fail.
You
Oh
rolled a one?
no!
Yes.
Oh no. Here's another one for you later.
No. This one's broken.
I did not do well.
I rolled a 7 for hearing. Oh, do I have to roll for Girax too? Is that this part?
Yes.
Okay,
You
so
have to roll for
7
Garrick, sorry. 7 for Garen.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, Jesus, Girax was much better. 6 for Girax.
Of course, yeah, yours is last. Yeah. Yeah, I see how it works.
Okay.
Not much better. I got a whopping. Well, actually, that's a lot better. Looking at that upside down.
What did
I
Rick
got
get?
12.
Okay. What did Debbie get?
6.
Okay. What did Jinx get?
23.
Yeah, girl. Wise as fuck. Whizzing us up.
It's all the drugs.
She's gonna
It's
whiz
all
all
the
over us.
I'm
Yes.
the whiz, bitch! I'm the fucking
You need
whiz!
to give me some acid, bro.
Yeah.
Give me some fucking acid.
Do you want
And
some?
source
Right
and
now?
all
Like I
y'all.
have some right now.
Well, no, but for my birthday.
Mhm.
Y'all, by the way, keep your ear out for some MDMA because I really want to do it again. But it's hard to find because now it's like dangerous and shit. So that's what I kind of figured. Anyway, sorry. Just talking about drugs on camera.
I can.
We can have these
Love
conversations
MDMA.
on break too. That would be fun. So
Crack rocks! Crack rocks! Sorry.
I don't know. Wait, I'm just gonna stop recording these and just we'll forget about that completely because you don't have to like watch your language or anything, but just like I'm going to try to edit these. So when you do that, it's like you are just doing it so that I have to do that again.
Sorry.
So we're gonna go with the entity ends up screeching so loud that Debbie, Garen, and Garrick's Ness, you are stunned solid in your tracks. You are so frightened by this otherworldly shriek.
Yep, that sounds terrifying.
Yeah. And you cannot move. You are the stunned status.
How far away from them are we?
About 10 feet.
Okay.
Garen
I
and
think you guys are about a bit of a spread, like
Okay.
10 to 15 feet away, but you're right there. Sorry?
Can you remind me what that does? What is a stunned status?
You can't move or take an action
For how long?
until the next turn.
Okay.
You just lost a turn. Basically. Some of you just lost a turn.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
they can only hit one of us.
That's its action though. And now it is Debbie's turn. Debbie is stunned.
Stunned as fuck.
Rick, what do you do in response to this?
I'm shoot the thing in the fucking face is what I'm gonna do.
You gonna shoot it in the face? Shoot it in the face.
You're not stunned.
No, he's not stunned.
Is it just you and me?
Alright. Shit.
No,
It's down.
there's
Okay.
4 of you are stunned.
I rolled a shoot in the face. Whoop, shit, my
Garrett's
dice
and
fell off
Garen.
the table. Weakness roll. 16.
16?
Indeed.
And that was to do, sorry, what? To
Shoot it.
shoot it with your bow? Okay. And that's definitely a hit.
Alright, for a whopping 7 damage. And then, because I have second attack, I'm gonna shoot it again.
Okay.
That was less gooder. Wait, no, that was more gooder. That was a 17.
Okay. That definitely works.
Adorable.
And 8 damage on that one.
I'm sorry, 8 damage on
8
that one?
damage. And then I'm going to kind of run back and away from the group because I don't know if that thing can do some like big area damage. And I'm going to try and get some distance in there.
So, I mean, how do you want to do this?
What do you mean? Oh, wait, did I
Where's
just
the
kill it?
sign?
You just killed it.
Oh, that was easy.
Oh, Barf!
I don't know. I'll shoot it through both of its eyeballs.
Okay, so basically it lets out this deafening shriek. Debbie goes to, you could see like the flexing of her hand as she goes to reach for her gun, but she can't. And then just a tick later, Rick, bullets go, or not
Nice.
bullets, the arrows go thwack thwack into both of the sockets of the creature, and it goes crashing down into the ground. Twitches, the
Dude.
jaw twitches a little bit, and there's a dying.
So I'm going to do some cool shit with
What
Garrett.
was that thing
Dude,
called?
we gotta stop killing shit,
a
man!
I'm
real.
sure that thing was hostile.
Bar.
Dude, we gotta stop killing shit,
Pretty sure that
man!
thing was hostile. It attacked
Okay.
first.
That thing was terrifying.
Exactly. Fuck that thing.
But it actually like stunned a couple of you for a tip, guys. So that's good. I like that.
We're in a city. That could have been somebody's mom.
Thank you.
Just got scared. We gotta quit killing people, man.
I don't think that was people.
It could have been.
It screamed at us. That was fucking rude.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Ooh.
ew.
So that thing, yeah, it's just nobody's even like turned to look at what you guys were doing there. Nobody's like in this section. Nobody's paying attention. But they're in the hollow where the creature came out of. There does seem to be about 3 black flasks.
Debbie gathers them up.
What did you find?
Debbie gathers them up.
Yep.
Okay, you gather up 3 black flasks.
2 black flasks.
What's in it?
I don't know. Let's check it out.
Are you
And
pocketing it?
pocketing the third one.
Roll a sleight of hand.
What's my sleight of hand? 17.
2 black
17.
flasks it is.
Yes.
Yes.
You notice that Debbie pockets one flask before handing them over, before showing up and
You
saying, "I
just
got
look
2
at me. You're
flasks."
just like,
Nobody else noticed, by the way.
like.
You have the highest passive perception.
Yeah, my passive wisdom is 17.
Oh,
Well, see, I
really?
rolled really low. Like my sleight of hand is 10. So you just barely saw it. Yeah. So 2 flasks with this liquid in it, guys. Hey, what do you think this is? That's weird, right?
Oh, let me see.
Don't drink it. Don't give it to the drug addict. No. No.
I'm gonna smell it and I'm gonna see if it smells like anything I recognize.
Hopefully it's
You're
not
going
people.
to smell
Yeah, I'm gonna smell.
the liquids
Yeah,
and then
smell it.
see if okay.
Would you have a familiarity with black viscous liquids?
I
Like,
like black
maybe, I
viscous
don't know.
liquids.
like have you smelled any of them in your life?
Maybe.
Maybe it's its babies.
Hey guys, it's licorice.
is what Kieran says. Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
wait, let's put it inside my dragon's ass.
That's a suppository, right? Sorry, Steve, you're not here.
I love you, Steve.
Have fun.
So do I recognize the smell?
Thanks to your dragon.
Okay, so you're going to just be rolling. Okay. There's 3 of them. So you open up the first one. Ding, we'll say that one. I want you to roll just a straight. Because you don't have a skill that would. What are you doing?
It feels fun.
Okay, no, if it feels
Like
fun,
I-
do it.
Like my
To be fair, I'd probably
wisdom's
do the same thing
okay.
if I
My
I play with
the
I want you to roll an
High.
intelligence
I
check.
haven't been wearing a bra lately.
Basically, it's a
weird
straight
to
roll.
drink.
Okay.
You're just
Did I ever do the thing?
sniffing.
I've done this to a
chemicals
few
right
girls
now.
who have been dating her.
So there
Okay.
you go.
The
Or
first
in the right
one,
position where they're
you're not
putting
even
their
sure
hand,
you
I'll just grab
smell
one and
anything
Okay.
necessarily
Probably.
about it.
Do I roll
Sorry,
a separate
what do you
one
do
for
to
the
roll?
second
When you're when
Yeah,
you when
roll,
you
You
when
just
you
like grab
the
one,
next-
let it go so it hits the other one.
Like
Just
that?
Back and forth.
Yeah,
Yeah,
go ahead,
yeah.
roll.
Yeah, or do that.
Oh, okay.
Or like grab both of them and just like smack them.
I like doing that. I do that on Ryan's
You
face
don't
sometimes. He really
recognize
likes
what
it.
it is, but you do get more of it.
All of that
smell.
with
I
the
mean, like
dick
you
in the
don't know what a potion is by smelling it.
Right.
It has to be administered in order to have any kind
Sweet,
of
let's
effect.
test it out on Giran.
This one you're at least able to smell a lot more than the other one, and it has kind of like a fish oil smell to it. Really, really strong in that regard. But not like terrible. There's kind of a sweet.
I recognize it as like probably a potion.
Yeah, you're pretty sure that they're potions.
Okay. This one, don't know what it is for sure, but this one definitely smells like a potion. Do you want me to smell the other one that I saw you
Roll.
pocket?
Yeah, no,
Roll
what?
for the
Sorry?
last one.
Is that a
Sorry.
survival?
You're
What is
silly.
it?
No, I'm making
I
her
can
do
help you. I
straight
can find out what it
intelligence.
is.
Oh, intelligence.
Seeing if she actually has any
Debbie
experience
will
with it. I'll let you know
not
if
do
you do. That's the thing. Roll one more time. That's so cocked that I'll
That's
give you the
so
20.
cocked, but
I'll give you the
yeah.
20. that one, yes. Ness, you smell that, and instantly you know on the third one that you smell, this definitely smells like the ingredients to a healing potion. Probably a potent one, too. You're not sure, though, how potent.
Really fucking good healing potion.
Wait, sorry. You couldn't have smelled all three because she only handed you 2.
Yeah.
But I just said,
Yeah, but
I said,
and-
do you want me to smell the third one you pocketed?
Debbie was a blank face, has no idea what you're talking about.
So that whole
Okay.
thing didn't happen?
So you smelling the potion of healing?
Yes.
You don't know that, and I'm going to randomize which one is the one that you pocketed, so
Cool.
we'll just
Sweet.
retcon that.
Sorry, it's in character. I have to. I'm
Okay.
like,
But now Ness is
Percentages.
Ness is a little bit more wise to the fact that
are you though really? Like, you
Yeah,
already
yeah,
knew.
yeah.
You already knew what she was gonna do.
I want you to write down that you've got a potion of fish oil.
a
Potion?
potion of fish
That's
oil.
what it smells like. You don't know what it does. And then you offer it up to the group, the other 2, and we'll say you did actually get we'll just say it smells like fish oil, that you can't get around that, and there's no recognizing what it is. Right. Out of the 2 bottles that she did present, one of them is recognizably a healing potion.
We pour it on that wound again. See what
Potent healing
happens.
potion. Don't know how potent, but it's probably good.
Do you need something?
There you
We should give it to Rick.
go. Oh.
Yeah, maybe pour it
Now
on
you
that
did
wound
you
again.
did try using magical healing before.
Yes.
This is more magical healing.
Well, here's the thing. If the magical stuff that I was using didn't work on that, I'm hesitant to waste something that I know is definitely a good healing potion that we might need later if it might not have an effect. So what I would rather do is wait until we talk to someone who can either tell us what you've got going on
Yeah.
or can tell us if this can fix it before we potentially waste it.
Cool.
Right. Okay. Who's taking the 2 potions?
I can put them in here if you want, guys. Opens up the satchel.
The bag of holding?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Giant bag of stuff.
write down that you have a potion of healing, but with a question mark. You don't know what kind. You have one that's the fish oil smell, and one that does not have a smell at all. It's odorless.
No smell potion. You got it. That's the information I have on it.
Unscented.
Good job, bud. It's,
It's the joy of coming up with potions, but like not being able to tell you what they are. Cool. So that was a neat little side thing as you got into part of the slags.
Neat.
You feel like you probably want to get out of this section quickly and not disturb anything unless you get into random encounter fights with boxes on the ground.
Yeah, let's keep moving, guys.
I
Let's.
think I'll take point through here.
we don't understand our environment.
Yeah.
What's your favorite terrain?
My favorite terrain is forest.
This forest? Okay, that's good to know.
I think.
Go ahead and roll survival, please.
Oh yeah, it is forest. Anyway, survival.
Ooh, that's not bad.
Yeah, it's a 20,
22.
26, 22, yeah, 22. Right.
22 is an excellent success. You get them out of the slags.
Yay.
Well, get you.
God, you're so pathetic.
Okay, so you guys were kind of on the outskirts of the slags to begin with, and keeping the regular houses in sight. You look for your first
Wouldn't you?
opportunity to catch an alleyway back onto
If I
the
could
main
reach.
street, finding yourselves. Where's the bazaar?
Looking at me like that,
That's over
Mom.
there. Okay.
Can't help you.
Ooh, piece of candy.
Ooh, a piece of candy. Okay, so I'm just gonna say, it is now. Oh, I gotta mark off some time.
I love how Debbie is our fearless leader, but
No, she's
but
not.
she's not actually leading us.
Nope. That ain't my fucking responsibility,
No,
bitches.
no,
Look,
this
Debbie
is
is our
the
fearless
symbol.
leader.
Yeah, yeah.
But you will tell everybody that you're our fearless leader. Oh wait, no, you won't.
No, I
No,
won't.
you
I won't take
Alright.
responsibility for y'all. But I will make decisions on behalf of y'all because I know what's good for you.
Well, it is Rick going through.
There we go.
So Rick, as you lead the group out of the slags and back onto the streets, you notice the 37-story building that there seems to be a clear sign showing it as, even though it's anti-peak right now and it's pretty dark out there, there's still it's such a tall building that it's like an office building. There's like the occasional light on in a window here or there, and there is a big sign showing that it is the Hall of Records.
I did not even know they could make a house that big.
Yeah, 37 stories tall. It is still big enough.
Wow.
Why 37? Like 38
I guess
too
in the
much?
group.
That's just reaching a bit high? I'm just curious.
Why anything?
Well, you know.
Nothing makes sense. Why should anything have to make sense? Well, I guess, I don't know if it's open this time. This is the Hall of Records, guys. We want to,
We should check it out.
see if
Yeah, we're
anybody's,
here. Why
Sure.
not?
Plus, I want to go up to the very top and spit. Please. Y'all wouldn't mind.
Garrett will stand down at the bottom with his mouth open.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, let's go see if it's
How
open.
did you know what I'm into?
We approach the Hall of Records.
Okay. You guys approach the Hall of Records.
Oh, dude, oh god, when he licks his butthole, it smells like fish.
Yeah.
Stop, go away. Please stop. Go lick your butthole somewhere not beside me. Ew, it's so gross. I'm like, why does your butt smell like fish? What? Oh, because you eat fish food. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's normal, but also, ew, fuck. Don't let him lick your face.
Yeah.
Don't let him lick your
Don't
face.
let him lick your face.
Also, the dog.
Okay, so yeah, you approach the Hall of Records. At this hour, it does appear that the gates are firmly closed to
Oh.
any visitors for the night.
That
and there's
makes
no
sense.
entry. It is a compound with a series of 3 towers, and you get this feel from the look of it, something that's reminiscent of the universities back in Wormland.
Mm.
That like this might have been a university once upon a time. There's like what appears to be maybe a faculty building and student dormitory kind of things, like the same kind of like squatness and shortness of a student housing building, and like decrepitude of
It's
it compared
institutional.
to the little bit nicer teachers and faculty building, and then the main hall of learning itself. But yeah, that's what you notice as you're admiring that. And like there's just it's very thin. Now that you've technically are now out of the hive and are into the clerk's board, you notice that the crowds have thinned out in terms of the seedier type. The more evil aligned aren't hanging about as much. And so as you're standing there admiring the building, though, looking at like the crazy architecture of trying to like look up at a building and trying not to look at how the horizon wraps around.
It just your neck twists in two.
You barely notice that there are a contingent of about 7 hooded figures who have their the hoods are down. Their hands are inside, corresponding sleeves, so that you don't see their hands, and they're shuffling along together, kind of heads down, and they're kind of mumbling a prayer in unison. They all look very familiar in appearance, very reminiscent of the person who approached you in the tavern that first night. Possibly some sort of gift.
Ooh.
But they seem
What
to be
are
monkish.
those?
They seem to be monkish, and yeah, they're just passing, going the short way around, away from you.
The Hall of Records
When
seems
do we
nice.
take-
We should come back when
He
it's open.
needs to go soon. We're gonna take a break soon, I imagine.
Yeah. What time is it? Yeah, we can do that now. Let's have a quick break.
Frank, cool.
Yeah.
Beasley, yes. You want to go pee? You want to go pee? Go pee?
Don't pee. Is dessert 1 S or 2? I always forget. 2.
Desert.
Thank
Yeah,
you. That's
2.
what's in here.
Okay, so
All right.
welcome back and all that jazz.
And all that jazz.
All right.
Come back.
All right.
You know what I like about high school girls?
Vodka goes back to the
Wait.
What?
Just a smidge. Just a smidge. That's good. Yeah. Thank you.
Right, so welcome back. You guys are standing out front of the Hall of Records.
Denied.
Some gith of some variety in robes. 7 of them had walked by, mumbling in unison in prayer of some sort under their breath.
Do we recognize it at all?
Do you recognize what?
The prayer? Like, is any of it English-ish?
It's not in common, that's for sure.
That's what I
Do
mean.
you try to listen in on it?
Yeah.
Oh, perception?
I'm perceiving so
So,
hard.
They walked by already and...
Listen, I didn't get an opportunity because I was busy fucking getting shit together for pizza, okay? Not good.
It wasn't until after the break started.
7.
Here's some pot.
I am perceiving it at 7.
And we're going to continue on then. So, Rick, are you leading the group through the rest of the market? Sure. Or towards the market through the church. Okay. Make a survival check.
All of us are just.
Just
17.
17. That's pretty good.
Are we gonna finally make it to the fucking market?
Hmm.
I'm not actually mad. I was just being sarcastic.
Yeah.
I was just being silly.
You just needed someone with a sense of direction to take the lead.
Market.
Oh God, why did you start?
Dave?
Yeah.
Look at you.
Well, I guess
Okay, so you take what seems to be the most straightforward route that you come upon, which leads you towards the glittering spires. And like, whereas the Hall of Information was maybe 37 stories tall, I know it's very specific, but 30 to 40 stories tall, the spires of the Fest Hall are gigantic. It's 1 part amphitheater, 1 part glittering palace.
God, it must be fucking beautiful.
we should go check that out.
It seems closed at the moment.
Everything's closed at the moment.
Except for the market.
Yeah, which you are on your way to. You get it to past the Fest Hall district, onto the Hall Road. You're almost there. Gonna make a couple more checks. Wait, actually, you got a little bit further in.
Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, Dave. Alicia broke the pipe that you bought for me.
Oh, was that?
To be
Yeah.
fair, gravity did.
Sure did.
I had nothing to do with
Yeah,
it.
you got me throwing it before.
No.
She was taking her anger out on it.
Yeah,
She was willing it to break.
I
You-
put it
you willed it
inside
to
my
break.
butthole and attempted
Wait,
to
you have mind
inhale
powers?
through
Yes.
my butt,
And
and
it
the
broke?
clench of
You
my
have the
butt was
shitting?
so strong that it broke
Shitting.
the pipe in half.
Wait, is that what happened to Five's wrists too?
Yes,
That's
that was my vagina.
In your butthole?
It's
Same
still-
time?
Yeah, well, she has 2 hands. I just didn't break the other half.
That's
I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't even
What's
know.
wrong with
Love
that?
you.
It's such a weird.
CJ,
Love you.
Oh, right.
Don't ever stop
My-
being yourself.
Most of my jokes involve using my cavities in different
Fantastic.
ways.
Fantastic. Sorry.
You see, it's not a few of the Harmonian patrolmen seem to be just swaggering down the street. They seem to be looking about, kind of eyeing and leering at everybody as they're going by. By the gate, it seems that maybe they've had a few, even though they look on duty.
Oh, great.
They seem to be like coming straight towards you as you're like walking down the street.
Alright. Guys, we should probably take a little detour around police-looking dudes.
Scatter is what we should do. We'll separate in the crowd and we keep eyes on each other.
Also a good idea.
Pick a buddy. Everybody pick a buddy. Separate. Okay. You're coming with me.
Okay.
That is going to be the thing from here.
Yep.
Let's go with Jinx and just leave Urine just right there confused.
Let's fuck your eye.
No, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, they're together. It's fine.
We just like spread out a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
See, you're learning.
Sorry,
You got
guys.
these streets worked out.
It's true.
Really?
That was so
Half
That
in the
was-
streets, child in the sheets.
Oh yeah.
Jesus, that's Debbie.
Oh, poor little Debbie.
Poor little Debbie was used as a child sex slave, and that is insensitive. Like, for a longer amount of time than a person should be a child.
Or a sex slave.
Or a sex... Well, both.
Slave denotes non-consent.
Mm-hmm. Well, at a certain point, she was consenting.
True. That line got a little blurry. Moving on. Rick.
She was taking advantage of whom?
Right?
Roll another survival check. We're gonna try to get to the place of the market.
19.
19.
Yay.
Mad success. Sorry. Okay, so you continue along Hull Road. You're surrounded in this particular area. It seems to be a lot of. Oh, actually, I can go this far. Oh, you're almost there.
Jesus fucking Christ. One whole episode and we're almost there.
Right.
The city is gigantic. This is like an overland adventure.
We don't even
Like-
have money to spend yet. We're just going hoping to sell some shit. Like, we really should have left this till after we had made some money.
Start a band.
Oh, wow.
We're going to the market. Talk about.
Yeah, we're gonna find out where
potentially-
music and shit is gonna
Yeah.
happen.
We're gonna find out how to
We're
fix
gonna
Rick.
Find a
Rick.
music girl.
Maybe
I'm gonna make you a
Debbie
fucking
up by her
star.
ankles and shake her out so we can get all the loot back.
You're gonna be a star, kid.
He's gonna be my Kesha.
Uh-huh.
Oh god, did that make you Dr. Phil or whatever his name was? Is that his name? Dr. something.
All I
Like
know
Kesha's
is that
agent?
the music industry took advantage of her because,
And they won.
and they wanted
And
her.
they fucking
She
won.
didn't get out of her goddamn contract
That's
even though she was
disgusting.
sexually harassed.
Isn't somebody like putting money together to buy her contract out?
Lady
though?
Gaga put
Lady
one
Gaga.
together, literally made a record deal, like a record company, just so she could buy Kesha out of her.
Lady Gaga.
That's fantastic. Lady Gaga's
Free
amazing.
Kesha!
Yeah, free
Lady
Kesha.
Gaga's
We gotta get
pretty
those t-shirts.
Mm-hmm.
I want a t-shirt that says free Kesha.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Though, to be honest, that sounds like a salad ID.
Yeah. It sounds
It's
delicious.
like a type of lettuce, right?
Yeah.
It
Kesha?
sounds like something I would buy at Whole Foods.
Mhm. Ryan's brother Duncan loves Kesha.
Really?
This is the same man that is the bassist for that metal band.
God.
That's very clear.
Zuckus.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's like the founder of Zuckus.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Which is a metal band that all of their albums they planned out every single album they're going to make for the next and then they're done. They have like just all these albums that they've already planned. They already named the albums. They just have to write the music. And all of the music and everything is just like comedy, mocking Star Wars mainly. Like one of their albums is called Tit Fuck by Tauntaun.
I've seen that t-shirt.
Yeah, I've worn that t-shirt. I love that t-shirt. It's a picture of Princess Leia getting tit fucked by Tauntaun. And
That is amazing.
anyway, yeah, and they have all these songs, but no lyrics to the songs. It's just a singer growling. Sorry,
D&D.
D&D. That was fun.
Tangent.
So yeah, you continue on. In the section that you're in seems to be densely a lot of like dwellings, a lot of housing. You see occasionally storefronts for like a lot of businesses, a lot of boutiques. Not quite so heavily dense, but you're like just on the cusp of the market ward anyway. Yeah.
Is it fancy? Does it look fancy?
Yeah, you're in a fancy section of town.
Does that mean there's lots of gardens or flowers or anything like that?
You get
Decorate them?
the sense that this is probably like wealthy merchants, wealthy tradesmen, not lords and ladies, but just people that are well-to-do by the amount of gold that they're making. So there is some lavishness being flaunted, but space is still limited. So,
I see.
Yeah, there are in the area that you're in. Yeah, there are a few like garden, and there's even a fountain with a statue.
Gardens, bitch!
There's a garden.
Yes, there is a garden.
First one you've
There's-
seen yet.
There is a flower bed, rather, that surrounds the fountain.
I immediately take my shoes off and just kind of like hunch down in the flower bed with my shoes. And
So
I'm
you step over the iron spiked, like it's very low, but like the iron spiked.
She's breaking the law, breaking the law. I did a crime.
And like we're talking like right, the fountain is circular, right, and at the cardinal point there's like a little bit of a pathway up to it, and then filling in that in between space on four sides is a bit of a fanning out of a small garden that is fenced in with like just a short iron spiked fence. So you step over that fence and begin.
just crouching down.
And it's a wonderful
And
feeling.
I'm putting my
Squishing your
feet
toes
shitting
Since you
in
haven't
the
been around
dirt.
something alive in
And
like think about
yeah.
what Wormland was like.
Mhm.
yeah,
There was
I don't think I've ever really seen anything.
You're just like, this is better than a
This is
high.
amazing.
You're just like rubbing your feet
Yeah.
into
That's
it.
pretty much what I'm doing right now. I'm just crouched down and I'm just like
Your
face
pockets
in
of
the
dirt.
flowers,
It's
just
alive, man.
experiencing it. Yeah.
So
It's sweet.
as you're squishing through the grass and you're really Jinx is just enjoying herself, and the rest of you are kind of just noticing this. There's a figure that approaches the fountain pretty quickly, almost like swoops in, but they're still on legs. They just kind of like their arms kind of trail behind them as they come close in and jump up and kind of perch on the ledge of the fountain, opposite of where you are, like on the other side of the fountain. But you notice immediately, like jutting forward from the hood of their cloak is the black iridescent eyes, black feathers instead of skin, and a large beak protruding out. And they kind of move about in a kind of like a very staggered, very sudden, sharp movements.
More bird persons.
They seem to kind of jump sideways along the fountain, and as they're doing so, from their hands, which
Girlfriends.
they seem to have hands, like clawed hands, that have like a lot of feathers coming down, like almost like there's some sort of wing happening there, but there are clawed hands, and they're putting something down on the edge of the fountain, something shiny, and moving about a little bit further and putting something down, just as you're doing that.
Girlfriends. I want to do an action.
Do an action. What
What
would you
action
like
is
to do?
that?
I want to do an action.
Do a thing.
Are you like casting a spell?
Yeah.
No, she's figuring that out. Rick's gonna hop over the fence.
Yeah,
He's
go for it.
kind of into the whole greenery thing.
Go hop
Kind of
over.
Guys,
refreshing.
look, I'm like a green motherfucker.
It's literally like a
Taking it back,
patch of
right?
like 4 feet by 3 feet.
And they're
on
just
each
rolling
side.
around.
Debbie is just like
Like,
anyone who's walking by. I'm sorry, they haven't been out in a
It
while.
looks, it looks like 2 full-grown adults kind of standing in like a kiddie pool.
Yes.
Like,
I-
like the
I-
$20 ones that are like
Like,
hard
really?
plastic.
No
I am
idea.
going to
So I wouldn't
cast
get it as an elf
plant growth on.
Oh?
Yeah.
Okay, so they're
Just
There's
the
definitely people back.
immediate.
It's
it's
an
a,
elf
bu-
thing.
it's a bed of lovely red tulips that you're standing in, and you cast the plant growth on it.
Yeah, I just want them
Is it
to-
the,
This
is it the
shit was so
nature
fucking
enriching
stupid.
one, or is
Yeah,
it a
so
different one?
so
If we did that
plant growth
halfway,
can be
maybe
either
three
nature
stars.
enriching, that's 8 hours,
Choose a point.
or I can just do one action
thick
and
and
it's
overgrown.
just
Okay.
thick and overgrown. So I want to
Huh.
create just like the space that we're in, and if I
And you
can
have
get
to
all
spend
around,
4 to 1 movement in order to get out of it. Same with Rick.
yeah,
But the
I'm okay
bed,
with that.
the flower bed that you're standing in with her, as well as the three adjoining ones. Suddenly, as she chants something under her breath, you notice, you just feel like almost like a wetness, and almost a warm wetness in the soil, almost like dew, but like a lot of activity of life. And plants begin to sprout up, and almost like you're entangling shots and whatnot, like you've been used to with your own magic. You see vines and grass blades spring up, and the tulips just populate outwards. There's more of them. They all begin to bloom as if it's midday, even though that it's 2 in the morning at this point.
Making her bush grow. I'm not gonna lie, when you said warm wetness,
Are
I
you
had
like Nicolas
flashbacks to-
Cage in Con Air right now,
Yeah.
feeling the breeze on your face?
I got a couple pictures of it. It was great.
That felt lovely. I was creating the
Yeah,
plant.
perfect.
With the mullet, yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's great.
That's fantastic. I love it. Take me on the
Creating plants, and
Instagram.
but it gets so bushy and so thick around you that you begin to, like, you're having difficulty moving your foot out, and you realize that it's now up to your chest. The grass that is interspersed is up to your
Alright,
chest,
we're just gonna try and get
and
out
the
of there real
flowers are
quick.
just like everywhere and kind of like sprouting out. It looks gross now and ugly, even though it's just a bush of life. It's very wild and
Yeah.
thick.
Jinx
It went
is-
from being
Jinx
well
is lying
groomed
down
and,
in it.
geometric to being
I
like,
Get your bush
swear.
under
We'll
control.
have a
Yeah,
picture
Jinx
someday.
is just like chilling in it. Just like,
This
this is
crew,
amazing.
Rick's gonna
You
hop
don't
on out of there
understand.
before it eats him.
they've been doing nothing but killing things all of their lives. Standing in a garden is a big fucking deal.
it
Amazing.
is a big fucking
It's
Killing
amazing. Yeah,
we fail
Jinx
to
is just
understand
like
is
laid
I've
back.
lived
She's
all of
like
it.
So
she's
stupid.
grown herself a bit
God
of a
himself
like
has
like
told me what
kind
you
of
did.
hammock
Oh god.
Yeah.
I've
almost,
I've heard it all. I
and
know your story.
Okay.
like just like something grown
I know
up, a lot of plants grown up
Yeah,
behind
you
her,
have-
so she has a bit of a
Yeah,
You
background.
have
you got
have
all the
enough of
things,
the
you got
grass
the
that has grown
extra.
thick enough behind you that you have like something you can kind of lean on and kind of like, even though you're
Oh,
kind of
gosh.
standing there in a square. Like,
You know,
Like,
anywhere else
that
would be
day
like
of my
a
life, that's
government
what I'm gonna
building
do.
with like little
Like-
plots
like
of
Yeah.
like geometric garden or whatever. Now
I'm
it's
trying.
Yeah.
giant
You can
and
listen
bushy,
to
and you're
my
kind of
brain
laying.
story.
I just-
You're kind of
I-
like trying to find
just
your
happy.
So, wherever you are there, we were
appreciate it.
trying to get somewhere. Do you want to like take
Got
some of
lots
this
of
with you? Does
noises.
anybody have a bucket? Could we
Yes.
maybe fill Debbie's
sit
bag
down.
holding with dirt for later?
Why?
Can I
No,
bring
God,
some
no.
with
Anybody have a
you
bucket?
know what? You can carry your own fucking shit around.
Anybody have a bucket?
Fucking carry your dirt.
All right,
The bird
nobody
person
had-
has now made like a full circuit of the
I
well has
put
now
some
on
of the dirt in
closest.
my pocket.
Garen offers up his
Sure,
helmet
but
to
let me
use the
finish
bucket.
describing this, guys.
Okay.
The bird person has finished making its way around the fountain and has placed a shiny object down. 8 of them in total. You see, as it jumps off, it says something, and when it speaks, it doesn't sound like it's the right voice for it. It sounds like it's doing an impression or something, like it's doing like a vocal impression of somebody else, but it just says so in the right voice. It just says to battle in like this really deep guttural voice, and it kind of like snickers to itself in a bit of a and you see the water around the base of the statue, which you see the statue is one of the barriers, the half goat people, like centaur like people, with a raised pike in its hand, and it's reared up, and it's like this full stone statue. Around the base, the water itself begins to bubble, and light begins to emanate from it, and as it does, the waters turn from being just glowing to begin to show something on the other side. And looking through those who aren't in the grass, so Debbie and Ness and Kieran, who can just kind of are near enough to be able to peer in. Can I make it the part that I want? Thank you. You begin to hear this music pouring forth from the portal. And you see beyond rolling mountains of ice, a land barren and stripped. You see the bird-like person on the perch just like look at you for a second with like just the one side of its, like the bird eye, looking at the side, looks at you, looks at you, looks at you. and jumps down with not a splash, but with a swoosh, and seems to, when it jumps down, go and fly off
Oh, that's neat.
into some sort of sky.
What a neat description. Thanks, Luke.
Wow.
That's cool. They don't leave the shiny things behind.
The portal remains open. Yeah,
Okay.
they're the 8 shiny things that are on the rim of it at the moment.
So that sound right there is adventure.
That's a portal to somewhere where we don't know it is.
Yeah.
We didn't know what this was. We were alright.
I mean, I'm all for going through, but you know. apparently
But
we're-
also, we need to buy some shit and steal.
We need
I
money.
mean, steal
We
some
could
shit.
just
I
take
mean,
these little
dragon
thingies.
porn. I don't know.
We heard what he said. We
Did
can
you
just
say
hang
on
on to
the
this
dragon
later.
porn or just
Can we take
the
those things?
performance aspect?
Well, I mean,
Oh yeah.
anything can really
Assuming I'm still
happen.
playing gear after the battle.
The night
If
is
you're
young.
brave enough.
Jigs. So assuming I'm still playing Garen after the battle, I'm gonna offer up his helmet to use to collect a bunch of dirt and bring back to the house.
That would
Yeah,
be lovely.
through the grass.
Thank you.
Jinx has to, like,
Guys.
the grass
Hey,
just parts
guys.
for Jinx a little bit.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You guys are so
Yeah,
cute.
the leaf
Yeah.
leaf's just gonna go.
So you
To
hang
reveal
for
your
the
face and
Helm
then-
of Comprehend Languages?
Yes.
Yes.
There's no flower pot.
Thank you.
Lord.
And right that you now have...
Flower pot of
You
comprehend
have a-
languages.
Those flowers are gonna understand.
Can you please write down that you have the Helm of Comprehend Languages filled with dirt?
No.
And I assume 1 flower?
Yeah.
1
One
tulip?
assumes
A
we are
tulip and
going
some
to get an
grass.
anthropomorphized daisy out of this, right?
Probably
like,
don't.
like a shit-talking daisy friend who just is
Groot!
Ah! You guys made a Groot.
Alright, so
Jesus, we're gonna have a were fucking rat for a ranger with a
by the
druid
time
buddy.
she's got a helmet full of dirt, the portal seems to simmer out. It goes back to dark, clear water.
Was anyone paying attention to what the fuck that raven was doing and the bird thing was doing so
Yeah,
we can
I
open
kinda
that
wanna
shit back up again?
I'm gonna. Okay,
Well,
nobody
he's-
else jumped on it, so I'm gonna scoop up
He
those
jumped
little
on
coins or
the
whatever.
fountain and then said a
Tokens?
word of some
Um,
kind.
yeah, just write down that you have 8 shiny lumps of foil.
Okay.
Sounds like a crow.
Yeah.
I have to remember
A
that this is now a
magpie.
portal. 8 shiny lumps of metal.
So stupid.
uh,
You're not the thief.
To battle was the phrase.
I can't even
Write
lift my
that
arms
down,
above
too.
my head. It's 5. Can you break my
Good. And that
Oh,
was where the hell were
Oh
you
yeah, you're good
guys?
at it. Do
Yeah.
the things. I just want like French Brady things.
Yes.
Do as many as you want. I just
Like cornrows?
whatever you want to do. I just my arms hurt. I can't lift them above my head. Do you want a comb or anything?
And little elastics. I have all of those things.
Okay, cool. So,
Oh, sorry.
I hate that I can't lift my arms above my head anymore.
Need fucking physio.
Well, I'm getting stronger. It's not that. I just over fucking did it today.
yeah.
I should not have done. I forgot. I should not have done
It
that.
begins to rain.
Cool.
So, you know.
Put my cloak up.
Yeah, the dark clouds that you'd been seeing had finally let loose its load of moisture.
Garen's just staring up like, you're gonna drown. So
Okay.
we continue to the market, guys?
Yeah, this is probably your last check.
Alright.
Go
So
ahead.
fuck this one up. I fucked it up. 8.
Oh, for crying out loud!
8
Can
total?
we just like get to the place that we need to be? Like, are we that noob?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. We're clueless.
Oh
apparently.
God.
That was your 8 total?
Yeah.
Okay, so you end up going this way.
I love
Which
it when the DM
gets you-
says, "Oh, for fuck's sake!"
So you continue down this court, Dancer's Court, which seems to be, like by the signs, it's called Dancer's Court.
Yep.
And this seems like straightforward, like, hey, you should have seen the market district by now. And you feel, I mean, it's getting less and less people as this just seems to be a little bit more residential in this particular area. You've taken about an hour to get yourself not lost, but a little off path. I'm going to have to anybody help him with this?
Yeah.
I will help.
I'll help. I have a +6 in survival.
I do not. I have a +1.
Okay. So.
But I'm very city smart.
Oh, and
Oh.
we forgot to RP. So you get your way out of the bush of that stuff, and nobody around seems to have paid much mind.
Well, that's
by the way.
lucky.
You get
I was hoping to
about
cause some shit.
Of
Sorry.
course you were.
That's why I was
Right.
encouraging it. I'm like, is there a garden? Go fuck with the rich people's stuff. That's why I was like, is it a nice area? Is it
Okay.
nice here?
let's get you to the bazaar. Dave,
Yes.
Rick can now roll with advantage on this check. You don't roll anything because you're helping him at this point. You're like, no, you don't know where you're going. You
Dude,
start
it's like right up there, man.
You
you
two
start
argue for a
smelling
bit.
around and you're smelling
Thank
spices
you.
in the air, and you're
Am
like,
I pretty now?
oh, I think I know where it is. What do you roll?
18.
18?
Yep.
Oh, that's much better.
That'll get you there.
Okay. So, with Jinx helping you along with her nose, she
Here.
leads you through a pass between some of the
Fucking
alleyways.
sick. That's neat.
And
I'm gonna wear that all day.
Do my
Oh,
hair.
press-
Or something?
I was like, me
Do
too.
my hair. Me too.
sorry, were you talking about
No, I said, did Jinx smell drugs or something?
She smelled Cinnabons. Essentially, yeah. So you guys come out to the south end of or not south, but there is no directions in Sigil, but you come out on one side of the Great Bazaar. So before you
I'm sorry. It's
is, we're
It's just
talking
avocado
like
oil.
blocks upon blocks upon blocks. City
Debbie
blocks.
has got the equivalent of
just-
a boner. Sorry.
For what? I haven't finished saying anything for you to have a boner about.
He doesn't always have one.
You see a giant open market ahead of you. Stalls, carts, booths. Some seem to be more permanent, some to be, blankets laid out. Some have wares, some don't seem to have anything specific laid out in front of them. But there are hundreds. Now, not all of them seem to be open for business, but there are quite a few people passing through the night market portion, which is just a series of lanterns that are lit, thankfully, along the main fare of what's this called? Saints Boulevard and Swam's Way. And there's one other line that seems to be off on the opposite end of lantern lights glowing, and the stalls that are closest to the lights seem to be the ones that are open at this hour. You've made it to the Great Bazaar.
Sweet.
Oh my god, shopping spree.
Okay, who wants to go where? I think we should definitely take a look to see if we can find anyone who
One-
knows anything about your injury.
Yes, also a music store place, so I can get my loot looked at.
Yes.
Maybe they have a helpful pamphlet or something.
Perhaps gear and items. Can we find a place that sells maybe like buckets or pots so I don't have to get my helmet?
Can we look? Can we look for a place that has a map of the local area first? Something like that that'll let us know what kinds of shops are where.
Oh, I learned
Like a
about the
map
local
shop?
area.
That might be helpful to us in the navigating and not spending all game trying to get to a place type maps.
Yeah.
Sorry, just ideas here. I don't
Being
spitball.
sassy, or you're actually asking a question there?
No, like that's an actual question, but I was
Okay.
spitballing and being funny and trying to
Okay.
have fun.
Well, you notice that at this time of night, there is only this many shops that are open. Like the lines that are open, the stalls that are adjacent to that. So you would have to go in and start looking through stalls to try to find and ask around and maybe find somebody who might have a map. And then what are you looking for a map of?
The Great
The-
Bazaar, specifically that, and like if there is a map shop that might give us more indication about.
Is there
Our-
a tourist booth?
Yeah, that type
Travel info?
Like you're asking about getting around the city faster?
of thing. Yeah,
Yes.
that sort of thing.
Okay, like you've seen and have passed up on a few occasions sedan chairs and other like carriages and stuff. that
No,
have
I
been
know.
around,
This is
so,
just about like personal knowledge, being able to pull something out and be like, where is
Ah.
this roughly? Do you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
so that we have future endeavors
We
searching.
can just kind of like know where
This
to
is
go.
this is your first tryst through these sections, which is why I was making it more difficult for you. But once you've gotten used to like some of the pathways, it'll make it easier for you to get around. But you don't have to do so many encounters. But like as far as like a map of Sigil that you're looking for, I mean, we'll see. We're going to attempt that, right? Okay, so you enter the bazaar with the primary purpose of looking for a mapmaker. That's the first thing you're looking for?
Yep.
Seems like a good
Sure.
idea.
Like you start asking around?
I think
Okay.
it's
Debbie, since you're leading on the night, go ahead and roll an investigation.
nice. 21.
21 total?
I rolled a 19.
Okay, I believe you.
I'm just excited about that.
So you have you've asked a few of the stalls near the beginning of the not the beginning but the where you guys are starting off. We'll say you start going towards the left towards Swans. There it is, Swans Way. And the first couple of booths that are open there that are lit are salted meats and some produce that just seems to be arriving now and being put out on display now, getting ready for the morning rush. You inquire at the booths of somebody who seems to be in a constant state of flaking.
I'm not going to eat what you're selling.
You're not sure if it's a skin condition or it's a strange new race you haven't encountered yet, because it's the kind of place that it is.
Yep.
Is that a skin condition, or is that just normal?
Well.
But yeah, you inquire with them. They let you know that there's no map of the bazaar, that the stalls change, people come and go as they can afford to, keep a stall here and there. Some travel from far and wide to set up shop for maybe only a few days or a few weeks, and then they're on their way.
So there's no like permanent shops.
I'm just
asking. Sorry, the way you're describing it sounded like
You're asking that person like that? You cut them off and say there are no permanent shops?
No.
They say yes, there are permanent shops all along the outside. Was that you talking or Debbie? I couldn't tell.
Mind. It's fine. Continue. Sorry.
Okay, whatever. So they talk about how there are shops everywhere in this market district, that they're open during the day, and point out at like basically everywhere where there's not like this main area here. These are all shops. These are all stalls and booths and tents, and then there are proper buildings that are like all along the outskirts of that are cafes and inns big enough to accommodate huge caravans of merchants and like shops of all kinds. You're asking about maps though, right? Okay, so to continue about maps, since that there's nothing for the bazaar itself, I can give you some directions if you're looking for a particular booth right now, which, because you rolled, I was trying to get to that part and give that to you. But before that, he says that as far as like a map of Sigil goes, is that there have been a few Burks from time to time who've tried to map out the dark of this place, but they find that they tend to be inaccurate quite quickly. And the hive is just a mess. Nobody's been able to map the hive and, well, live to show anything for it.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah, well, that's the end of that search thing.
Cool. So you rolled a high investigation. You can get directions from them about any like booths that you're looking for.
Where's the
anything
pawn
else that-
shops? Best places to make a buck off of some adventurers' equipment we might have acquired.
He kind of looks you up and down, and just like, I don't know what you have to offer, but there's plenty of merchants in this place that would.
Well,
Sorry, go ahead.
Let me be more specific. So, if this is where I find salted meat, am I going to find salted meat intermixed with different places to sell items? Or is there, like, item specific, like, this is where I can sell magic or find magic items, or this is where I can find the smelters and the people who are making weapons and selling weapons, or is there an armorer's spot? Like,
he looks at you kind of confused, and he just basically explains to you that there are merchants of various types that sell a lot of different variety of things. Some have a selection that might include the equivalent to a pawn shop, to a smith, to a weapons dealer, to magic users. There are certainly alchemists aplenty. There are, like, there's everything here, and he could definitely give you directions to very specific people that you're looking for.
Am I bothering you?
The person?
No,
or me?
you. Your tone and speed at which you're speaking is.
He's getting frustrated with Debbie because Debbie is asking some very strange questions to a person about.
I asked about a pawn shop.
Yes.
What? And then I asked about more descriptions about, is this just going to be intermixed? I don't understand what's wrong with my questions.
Intermixed? Then yes, it's intermixed. You asked where to sell stuff, and then he tried to tell you that, well, it would depend on what the stuff is that you're trying to sell, but there are shops for everything here, and you could certainly, like, he was trying to be positive and tell you that there were definitely places to buy your stuff.
What do you guys think? Where do you want to go first?
Like to find a music shop.
There you go. That's a good start.
I need a 10-minute break. I want to roll a joint and go outside and have a 10-minute break. I feel weird.
Cool.
So to reset a bit. I got that from Toby's because I last time I was there I went to Simone and I said, "Hey Simone, I know I'm just buying this one little can of something.
Give me your swag.
What do you got?"
That's neat. I like it.
Fantastic.
So you had just had spoken a bit with the salted meat merchant,
Oh, yes.
the crusty salted meat
I
merchant.
buy jerky from him.
You buy what kind of jerky?
What's
from
his best jerky?
Flaky
him?
jerky.
Best jerky?
The best jerky.
Beefy
Oh,
jerky.
it's got it's got to be the goat jerky from the Arborea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not gonna. You wouldn't lie to me. You would give me the best jerky because I'm a smoked meat connoisseur and I know a good salted meat.
I can tell by the moment when you walked up that you were definitely the
This girl
the
has
top
had a lot of
connoisseur
tough leather in her
smoked
mouth. Let me
meats.
tell you.
Please do tell me about it. As I just and he like, can you make a perception check?
Oh God! It rolled back. Okay.
Really?
It's 11.
Yeah.
Right? Alicia,
I
taste
like
these
it.
chips.
I don't want it.
What is
What
it?
does it taste like?
Gross.
It tastes like Mr. Noodles dry
does.
with the powder.
Oh my God! I love
What did
it.
you do? How did you do that?
They're fucking these
They taste like
these
chicken.
Doritos. They're Doritos.
Oh, I was going to get
grilled
those. I was
steak
Are they the blue
tempted.
ones?
blues. Yeah,
Oh,
those are the blue ones.
Fucking Hank reviewed this shit on Uncle Whatever.
Did he?
I'm so curious. I was like, no
They
way.
taste like fucking ramen noodles.
Oh my
Totally.
God, I
like
love
the
it.
too salty and everything.
Oh boy.
Fuck dicks, that's good.
So he
It's got barely any milk in it.
Go ahead.
So he produces some a jar and takes out how many strips, and he starts taking out a piece of what looks like parchment folded, and he's got a pair of tongs, and he's grabbing out some strips. He's actually got tongs.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many strips?
How much can I give for 1 gold?
He's like digging around for like the best piece, and you say 1 gold, and he's like, oh, closes the jar, hands you the jar.
Perfect.
There you go. You have a mason jar full of, put in quotations, goat jerky from Arborea.
Goat jerky. Jar of goat jerky added to the jam and the cheddar. We got a fucking fancy ass meal. I am used to exquisite taste.
We're having a picnic.
Debbie is a woman of exquisite taste.
He's like,
I
he's
assume she'd be very
so
salty.
happy with the purchase that he just takes some of like his random jerky that he's got, and he just hands it out to you. You all just hands you like
Jinx
complimentary
says no, thank
piece to the fine lady's friends.
you. No, thank
No.
you.
That's
Oh,
nice of you.
oh.
I'll
But
have
it's like-
hers, that's fine.
Yeah.
Do you have
So out
any
of curiosity,
goat
this
jerky?
goat jerky, is it made of barley?
Sorry.
So the goat, out of curiosity, this goat jerky,
God, I
it's
want my
goat. It's
chips
not
tasting
made of
like
like
steak.
what are they called? Bari or those half goat people we've seen around.
Oh, certainly not, sir. Some of my best friends are barriers. Some of my best customers are barriers.
Glad to hear it.
We're
You
new.
never know.
It's
You never know what to
definitely
expect.
goat jerky from Arborea. That's what I said, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
It sure smells like a goat's anus.
It does kind of have a goat smell.
It's
Kind
got
of
that musky smell.
Yeah, there's musk and for some reason a hair or two, inexplicably a hair or two.
Yeah, what else? You gotta have something to pull out of your teeth.
Yep.
So I need to know what kind of stuff you guys are looking
Okay.
to unload.
We do need to talk about that because I have a bunch of stuff and I don't want to sell something
Okay.
that's unintentional.
Yep.
From the things for which Alicia has. We got Debbie. What you got, Debbie? Nessa's half plate. Yay or nay? Keeping it? Selling it? What you doing?
Yeah, I got the nice plate. I'll keep. We don't need the half plate anymore.
Okay, I'm gonna just
Yeah.
put that. I'm gonna push straight through it because we're gonna sell it.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's the half plate?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I need to write it down. All right, so half plate, yeah.
Rick studded leather.
What are you wearing now?
Shit, I guess I'm probably no, because I don't think I put back on the black armor from the ship. Didn't I take the studded leather back at some point?
Did you?
Oh no, that's right, because I have the adamantine chain or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, we can sell the
Sell Rick
leather.
studded leather. Okay. Sever's spear. We can sell that, right?
What is that?
Fuck Sever. That was somebody we killed.
No.
Oh wait, that's Kieran's stuff. We're gonna sell all that.
Cool.
Selling Sever's spear?
Sure.
Cool. Can't have my cheddar.
Wait, Sever's spear?
Sorry. Like I said.
Sorry, it just kind of came out and you're like, I don't think you're ready for this jelly kind of way. You can't have my cheddar.
Hashtag you can't have my cheddar.
Sever's spear, what's it made out of?
It's just a regular spear. It's actually it's a masterwork for its kind. Like it looks like it's not. It doesn't belong to military, and it's not like some huntsman spear. It looks like somebody who's fought with spears, like a nice masterwork one specifically for fighting.
And what would that be
So
made out
yeah.
of? Like wood or metal?
It's it's wood
Like
and
a wood
metal.
handle?
Wood on
She
the
just wants to know
shaft.
if she can use it. Just ask the damn point.
Well, I don't know. That's what she's asking because she didn't ask me that, Alicia. 5, are you asking me that?
Yeah, well, I just
It's
want
got a
to.
metal tip.
Okay.
Like it's got a metal head to it. Yeah,
Cool.
for sure. But the shaft of it is of like a really nice, like flexible dark wood, and yeah, the point is quite well crafted.
Oh, that's right. I got clove
Um,
tobacco and papers. Fucking, I'm
Weird.
balling right now. Debbie is just like,
Order.
no,
Hey.
no,
Debbie,
impressive.
She's a thief with a bag of
can I
gold.
have that?
What else
spear?
do you want?
If you want,
Are you
like,
proficient
will you
with
use it?
Are you
Is
proficient with,
it
like,
better
simple
than what you
weapons?
already have?
Yeah, it's
Wait,
Oh
it
my god,
says
steak chips.
bottom left of your front
So
character
good.
sheet.
You're right about the kimchi.
Oh wait, you know what?
What's it say for weapons?
No,
Realize
no
I actually
spears.
have, like, next
No
to
spears,
nothing,
never.
so
Oh yeah,
like,
spears there.
Weapons.
that's about
It's
it.
a
Clubs,
simple
daggers,
weapon.
darts,
Yeah.
javelins, mace, spears, quarterstaff.
Cool. Yeah, you can definitely do a spear.
I would like to do a spear in place of my sickle.
Well, you don't have to replace it. You can just add it.
Okay, can I just
be like,
add
now I have both.
it? Now I have
No,
a
you're
spear.
both. Cool, I'm taking
Okay,
it out of the bag of
I'll
holding. It
give
is
it a
now
step
in your
forward.
possession.
Perfect,
It's
thank
right
you.
here. It'll because it is a spear. Just so you know, it's versatile, but it doesn't have finesse, which means that you have to use your strength bonus in order to wield it. And when you wield it, if you wield it in one hand, it does 1d6, and as two-handed, it's 1d8.
Okay.
So it does an extra die, like an extra size of die, if you're using both hands with that spear at the same time. So mark that however you want to, and we'll figure that out after. But yeah, you have that. So what else were you hawking?
I want to sell my hell armor that I have.
The what?
I don't know, it's just what I was calling it. The armor that I got from the ship.
The black armor?
Yeah.
Okay.
because Debbie ain't got no money.
You have Jinx's armor too.
I
You
do.
sell that. Jinx don't want that.
Yeah, sell it.
I don't want it at
How
all.
many sets of it do you want to sell?
I'm keeping mine. You never know when you're gonna need to be able to breathe in the abyss.
I'll keep the hat. I don't want to keep the suit.
Don't you need the suit for the helping you work?
No, they did act independent.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
keeping
They
the
were
hat.
just part of a set in order to work fully.
Gotcha.
And like I can't really wear medium armor. They're like I'm better in light armor, so I might as well be part of like. We'll find other really great stuff. We're only level 6.
So
Yeah.
how many suits? How many of the actual lower half of the armor itself? How
Who
many
else wants
suits?
to? Do you want to part with yours or you want to keep it?
I'm gonna keep it.
You? Keeping it? Selling it?
I'm selling it.
Selling it?
Mhm.
Cool. So 3. Well, I guess we don't want to make a decision for Kieran.
They'll just sell it. Sell all the stuff. They'll
That's
He
get
sells
rid of
his
it.
void armor. Why would he ever want to wear it?
Okay.
If the rest of the group is selling it, I'm sure he would too.
Well,
He's
yeah.
a
Will's
mage and
not.
he cannot use it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'll sell it.
So that's 4 sets?
4 sets.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money, guys. That's gonna be a lot of fucking money. Those things are worth a lot. Well, not sets, because I'm not selling my hat.
No, I know.
Okay, sorry.
This is not the helms. So I would ask you if you're selling any helms.
Well, I know when you say a set, though.
Okay, now that we're clear on that, how many helmets are you selling? Now we're moving on to that part.
I'll hold on to mine.
It did allow for you guys to communicate between helmets.
Alright.
It allowed you to breathe in unbreathable environments.
You should keep
I
your hats.
guess that's probably a good idea.
And they
Even
look
though
really
I
cool
feel
with
like
the
I'm
antlers,
fucking
remember?
choking.
Alright, so you all keeping your hats?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So 4 sets of that armor. Okay. Anything else?
I don't really have much else that is like I have those
You guys have
charm thingies
yeah,
that
you
I
got
got.
ciphers and stuff.
Yeah, which are right here. I don't have them on my sheet. 1 second. I want to keep the thing that teaches me the.
Book?
Yeah, I want to keep the book, the mirror image.
Yeah, I think that everybody wanted to read that.
Figuring that out. Rick has 10 feet of chain he'd like to sell. That's like the only thing I'm carrying that I actually want to sell.
Why do you have 10 feet of chain?
No, we'll just keep these. They're not worth that much.
And this clever plan at one point that I could use the chain and a grappling hook to ensnare a Goliath if we fought another zombie Goliath. And he'd like trip it up, but it's just bad.
Beastly, look at how fucking
So
cute
dumb.
you are.
He just wants
Big
cuddles.
sock. Oh, this sock. You stupid dog. I found a spot
Okay.
on his inner thigh that you scratch and his leg starts twitching.
That's his penis.
He's jerking off the dog.
Do you
Red
mind?
Rocket, Red Rocket.
Oh, yeah. Beastly. Oh, stupid.
Cool. I was so excited because now I have more room in that goddamn bag. Because I was getting close to capacity there.
Really?
Like I was carrying around 3 sets of armor.
That was a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
that
that
can
was
only
most
hold-
of the weight.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there was a couple other things in there, but not that much, like those spears and stuff.
Thank you.
Mhm.
My spear.
Yeah,
Thanks,
you're
Debbie.
welcome, dude. You got it.
Yes.
Anything you need, I got you, girl. Got you.
Thanks, dude.
So you essentially end up asking the jerky man
Jerky man.
about
The
because
turkey
you
lurkey man.
we'll say that you've already like arrived in the long trip to the bazaar. You had this conversation before you got there,
Yeah.
so you've already asked the man, "Hey, we have some armor that we need to unload." And
Unique
somebody with-
armor.
yeah, and somebody. Yes, exactly. And then you need somebody with maybe enough coin to be able to purchase these high quality items, as well as somebody to purchase 10 feet of chain. Literally, you gave me a half plate, studded leather, 4 suits of the armor, and then 10 feet of chain.
No? Yeah.
10 feet of chain. You get
Nothing.
2 silver.
That's as low as I was expecting. So good.
2 silver?
2 silver. You
Not
got 2
bad.
silver for that.
Not bad. All things considered.
The jerky man basically says that there's only one individual who's up at this hour who thrives at this hour and who would be working his forge and might have the kind of coin or trade ability to be able to get something fancier from you. And that's a minotaur
Oh, neat.
named Turkin.
Lurking.
Are you
Turkin.
sure he's not busy jerking?
Turkin Ragged Skull.
Ooh.
That
Well, what's he done to that
painful.
skull? Probably should have gone with a wetter one.
Yeah. He's
I
like-
mean a more alive one, sorry. Wrong crowd.
So it gives you. I assume you'll be doing all of your shopping after you get some money, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Being that it's. Well, you don't know. It's sometime past anti-peak at this point. But you notice that there are a lot more carts showing up to start loading up the produce vendors as you're walking through
So like 3, 4 a.m.
bazaar. I will say though, along the way before you quite get there, there is just somebody who absolutely catches your attention as being very out of place in the environment. Among all the booths and the carts and the tents and the tables and the wares, there's a little old lady that is just sitting on a cushion, kind of cross-legged, on what appears to be a heavily embroidered silk throw blanket. Like it looks really tattered and worn for being used as like on the bare ground like that. It looks like it's more meant to be like a tapestry. But she's, dressed in some worn out silks herself of a light purple hue, and has it wrapped around. Her hair is hidden in wraps and wraps of the same silks, and she seems to have a lot of gold jewelry hanging down. And she has a deck of cards in her hands, and just kind of, as you guys are coming by, says in common, "Read your fortune."
Can I imagine
Free.
she sounds like Fran Dresser?
No. Read your fortune. It's free.
I go off and sit right in front of her. Okay.
Yes. Sit down. Sit down. And you notice immediately she's human. She's definitely human. She definitely looks like into her 7th, maybe 8th decade. Lived a very long life, very wrinkly, and very like pruny looking, very wizened, but like there still seems to be like a lot of strength and wisdom behind her eyes. And she gestures for you to take a seat and says, "Think about an issue that troubles you. Okay? The cards know all the possible futures." She begins to lay them out. First card she lays down in front of her is the Page of Swords. It says, "In the current situation, you need to be using a lot of understanding and diplomacy that you're unfamiliar with." She lays down the second card, not in front of the first, but just slightly adjacent to it. She says, the Nine of Pentacles. "You must beware that there are things that you might enjoy alone in the solitude and but you obviously have a," and she looks at your hand and says, "You obviously have a green thumb."
Paying attention for fucking pickpocketers and other magical little handheldy things that she might be doing.
Paying attention to her
And the surroundings intense.
okay, roll a perception.
Because I fucking free ain't nothing. I am perceiving at a 14?
Just occurred to me, if
Yes.
it says a green tone, does Debbie have a brown tone?
Yeah, because it's in Rick's ass all the time, trying to keep him smiling.
You're not aware of anything untoward's happening, though you're eyeing some beggars across the way that look a little twitchy in the nose area, a little similar to some beggars you would come across before. Not the same.
That was a joke.
Not the same thing. Not the same people, but like possibly other were-rat beggars.
Rick's nose
But
starts
to you,
twitching.
she says, but the Green Thumb's a recent change, a recent development for you. She puts down the next card, which, okay. So she placed one here. She places one here. So the third card is now directly in front of you. She says,
Go fish.
it's the Three of Swords, reversed. There's a lot of, despite your best efforts to find your way through this problem that you're facing, there's been a lot of confusion, a lot of loss, and a lot of sorrow along your path. And it's been influencing that heavy loss. You must have suffered greatly recently. I'm so sorry, dear. And she looks into your eyes, and you know she knows. Like, she doesn't, in that moment, she gives you a look like she knows what you've been through.
Fucking schemy motherfucking bitch. Sorry.
She lays down the next card, which is now like, so we're going clockwise. Now it's on the last axis there. She says, the Eight of Pentacles. It's about the little efforts that you're making is going to really help you along your way. You're going to make small concerted efforts. Your new trade or profession, your new whatever it is that you're getting into, the new, growing things with your green thumb. I think that's going to lead to be a major influence in resolving your issue. And she puts down lastly the Page of Wands in the middle. Brilliance, courage, beauty, love, great enthusiasm. This, despite all the confusion in your life, despite the great loss you've suffered, you're going to find a way with these new tools handed to you to find the courage to resolve.
That's fucking beautiful.
She just gives you that, like, she's holding it like the hands. And just like, I wish you the best of luck.
Goddamn manipulating cunt.
And then she kind of just takes, it's like a little tin teacup, and she just kind of holds it out and just kind of like shakes it a little bit, and just like, and then puts it down.
You got any money, bitch?
Yeah. I give her a gold
If you
piece.
if you feel you've gained something from that, then it's most appreciated.
Thank you.
You're welcome, dear. Is any of your friends interested in a reading?
Oh, I think I'll pass.
I understand. Busy city folk in a hurry. Go on.
Come on, spin Debbie some truth up in here.
You guys gonna sit down with her?
Debbie says that and sits down.
Okay.
I love you, Debbie.
Spin Debbie some truth up in here.
Let's see the past that
Your
has
hair
brought
will
you to this
become
point and what the
A
future.
glittery mess.
First card. Uno.
You were saying? Sorry, I
Sorry.
missed it.
Let's see the past that's brought you
Oh no,
to this point and what the future holds. She says as she begins to lay out the cards one by one.
She goes blank and starts throwing up.
This time,
Sorry.
this time instead of following the same pattern as she did with Jinx, she starts to lay them out. From your perspective, it's left to right? Yeah, left to right. Starting with the Eight of Swords, part of your past. You were restricted, censored, enslaved? Yeah, a prisoner somewhere in your past. This is legitimately what it says. By the way.
I know
I
these
love
cards.
fortune telling.
I know these cards because I used to read that Rider White deck. I knows it.
The Eight of Swords. Yes, you are a prisoner of some sort in your past. Lays down the next card. Six of Pentacles reversed.
Read it! Oh my god, I'm excited!
But through bribes, some sort of unfairness, or jealousy, you were able to write your way out of that situation.
I don't think so. I earned my way out. Sorry.
She gives you a knowing look, like she understands why you would bluff.
This is like Rick going to therapy.
She sees you, like, yeah, she's looking right through you.
Yeah,
like,
and Debbie is just
whatever.
like, I disbelieve everything you say.
She puts down the third card, the present. Says, Page of Cups. You already know what this is?
Please go ahead.
It's in the current situation that brought you here, it seems to be this gentleness, this repose that you're not used to. Something that it seems to be a lot more calm.
It's about rest.
That kind of thing.
Mm.
And going into the future, putting down the fourth card, Knight of Swords.
What was
A
it
headlong
coming?
rush into life. Strong bravery, skillful and clever.
Oh yeah.
Unexpected coming or going of a matter.
You hear that? You hear that, guys? Guys. Yeah.
I see that you are, or you might meet somebody very, very skillful and clever in your future that is going to guide you along your way. And she puts down the
Oh,
fifth
they might
card,
be me.
Nine of Wands. Preparedness, eventual victory, good health, strength and reserve, tendency to abstent. I can't say that word. It doesn't matter.
Abstentiate.
Yeah, sort of, but that's not really applicable. She just says that that this will leave, like, once you've met or become the person of great skill and cleverness that you're meant to be, that you'll finally achieve that feeling of victory that
Yeah, I'll
you,
get what I
you long
deserve.
for.
Thank you. I knew that. But here's a gold piece.
You give her gold as well.
Yeah, but
Okay.
yeah, for your effort.
She says, and she grabs you by the wrist, and you see her faded gray eyes suddenly melt over a little black,
Ooh, I like it.
Oh.
and she's grabbing you by the wrist, and it's like strong. It's a steel grip.
Oh, I bet she's a granny. I get it.
And with a voice that is doubled on itself, like there are two people talking, she says, beware. Beware the Geth. And she lets go. And the eyes go normal. And she seems to look a little bewildered and rightens herself, looks at you folk again, looks down at the cards, seems to gather what has transpired, like that she kind of wasn't there for a second, and then she just kind of gestures to the cup
I
a
just
little
like
bit.
put a hand on her
Yeah.
shoulder. You alright there, sweets?
Happens sometimes. Thanks.
Something comes over you. I understand. Thank you again. Yeah.
You continue on your
Yeah,
way.
yeah, yeah, and like full on like. So,
It's to go.
guys,
Yeah.
she said, beware the Gith.
What's the gift?
I think those are those guys at the bar. You remember? They was looking at us funny. They seemed to have, like, more than everyone else was looking at us funny. I'm just saying that, like, this armor is very unique.
Mm-hmm.
And it's probably great we're here at night, because we're only going to deal with one individual. But methinks this might be one of them situations where another identity would be useful.
You're gonna be Sten again?
No, I'm saying y'all need to shut the fuck up and not give up too much about where we're from and what you know. What you know. Because
I don't know anything.
everybody be jinx.
I should rub dirt on my face and carry
Everybody
a
drink.
and do drugs.
Bow, bow, bow.
So I'm just saying that we are going to draw attention to ourselves. Now, this is worth us selling it, but it is 4 sets of armor, and that draws a certain measure of attention. So we need to be real careful here and try to be as anonymous as possible.
Right.
So if anyone asks, my name is Pip Jerkins.
Pip Jerkins.
The remainder
Dig it.
of this endeavor.
Pip Jerkins. The young,
Can I
nice young lad.
Nice young lad.
Can I be
And we came across this armor. Where did we come across it?
on the side
In
of
the
road?
wilderness.
In the wilderness.
Side of
On the side of the road. That is the story you were going with before.
Side of the road in the wilderness.
Can
Are
my
you-
name be Delilah Wilderflower?
I applaud you. I applaud you for sticking with the same story that you used last time, because that stick-to-itiveness might pay off in the end.
Guys, I write stories.
On the side
Pip
of
Beef jerky.
the
Pip
road.
Jerkins.
On the side of the road.
Okay.
In the wilderness.
In the wilderness. On the side of the road.
Yes, and?
Yes, and.
Should we continue this? CJ knows what I'm saying.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
You guess the market's waking up?
Oh shit.
Yeah, not quite yet. We're almost there though.
I don't know if there's any more in there. Which one?
There isn't, but I can put more in there.
I wish there was more in here, but it's all over there.
No, it's all over there.
Okay, so this is not the right. This is not. This is just people shuffling
I
around.
never want to eat again.
Oh, really?
I'm so full of food.
I love food.
I ate like, I'm gonna say 20 donuts.
Yeah,
But they were little. That's
we
okay.
were little.
I had.
But 20
They
is still
probably added up to like 5 real donuts.
Okay, but you noticed that the old lady wasn't bothered at all by the fact that it was raining.
No.
All of her silks were starting to get wet and all that. She was just kind of sitting there. Even her cards were getting wet. And like you were thinking about this a little bit as you were walking away, and you turn back to just turns back to like see her one last time, and she's gone. She's gone, and her old blanket's gone, and there's even like a completely different stall in its place.
What?
Somebody who's like setting up to sell some cabbages.
Yup.
Neat.
Creepy.
That's cool.
But yeah, you continue on to make it to the Minotaur. Turkin Ragged Skull's smithy, who has basically an open air smithy in the middle of the bazaar. He's actually kind of known for that. He likes to go throughout the night, and in the Sigillian rain. Will I be able to say that right?
Sigillian?
Sigillion?
Sigillian rain.
Sigillion? Is that like more than a million?
More
More than a billion? Jillion?
The forge steams, literally steams as the rain just is instantly evaporated from the heat of the forge. He's got his anvil nearby and a big trough that he's pouring, and he's got lots of wares set up in racks. There seems to be steel racks, wooden racks, and it's like half tinted off, kind of like, you know, enough to cover the wares, not enough to cover patrons. Like, he doesn't like give a fuck about them. And it seems to be bare shirt, and you see this monster who, like, by all accounts, you've never even heard the tale of such a beast, but you see this man beast that would stand about 8 feet tall, maybe 7 feet tall, about 8 feet tall, has the giant bovine horns coming up from his head, and a bit of a
Neat.
bovine face, but then the chest and arms and torso of a man, legs that come down and end up in hooves.
Oh.
Does he have a beard?
He sounds
Yes,
beautiful.
he's got a
Okay, wait.
beard.
Yes.
Does
It's a black.
cupcake.
It's a black beard that just it doesn't grow very long. It kind of goes out to about here before it kind of curls away as it's been singed by fire so much.
So in my mind, when I think of a
Jinx is
minotaur,
just
they're
like-
hairy on the bottom half, and thus don't wear pants, but you can't see their dongs.
He's wearing a giant smithy smock.
Okay, so there's no dongs.
Like he's wearing the giant
I
apron.
want to know what a minotaur's dong looks like.
You're not seeing his dong after
I'm
that.
gonna try and seduce him.
We'll get to that.
No, I know, but that's my plan.
Okay. Good to know.
Debbie's like, I want to fuck a cow.
Do you need to do anything about that?
Yes. Thank you for pointing out the beep. I'll go deal with that and fuck a cow when I come back.
I feel like somebody
Don't
did
have
beat
one
you
while
to
I'm
it based
gone.
on This guy.
Huh?
Just watch this.
People breed with in this city.
Now I know Ness is not attracted to the Minotaur, but I am attracted to the Minotaur.
Yeah.
He's got the giant septum piercing.
Oh.
The giant
That was a
ring.
given. I'm
But
excited.
it's like it's really intricately like a giant silver piece that looks like it if it was made on Earth, it would be made like somewhere in like East to South Asia, like like Tibetan, like
Mhm.
multi-layered piece of jewelry, very fine detail, but it's just hanging of his giant nostril, and like he's not wearing any goggles, but he is wearing the apron, which looks like it's already like dark and scorched from many times of so many sparks hitting it over the ears, and with bare fist holding the hammers, beating a piece of metal, a rock-hard iron rod,
Oh yeah.
His rod.
glowing red hot rod. I guess I'll wait for her to come back.
I'm gonna have some
D&D game
really
has devolved
awesome
into
dreams
Minotaur.
tonight. Thank you, Lennon.
Yeah.
Rick really wants to
I'm
ask him how
fully in support of this decision.
Let's try this.
Jinx is just kind of standing there drooling a little bit. She's just like,
Rick wants to ask him how do you move, but probably won't. It would be offensive.
you're a
That would
dick.
probably be very offensive.
Yeah.
Don't ask that.
Beastly. Oh, did you get lonely? Was I too far away, stupid dog?
These do taste like Western noodles.
Right?
Right?
This is so
Exactly
weird.
what it
It's
is.
so
I like
weird.
I was saying
Oh, it's not.
the Minotaur is beating his
Ah.
red hot rod over the anvil.
Sorry, what are we talking about?
He's beating his hot rod.
He's beating his hot rod. Barehanded.
Oh, no.
Ah.
With every pound
Oh.
of metal on metal.
Dave,
Uh-oh.
come on. You can't tell me you don't even want to fuck that.
Uh,
I'm good.
Uh.
Pass on the bovine.
There's a flash of sparks that light up him and the merchandise just for a moment, and you see. We'll go with it. He's also got pectoral piercings as well. That match the one on his. Oh wait, no, but he's wearing an apron. Whatever. Anyway, so you approach, and you see this looming 8-foot beast. Who's approaching?
I will. Sorry, I will. Sorry, I just put nice away. I will say hello to the gentleman.
Jinx is drilling.
Jinx is a bit too Twitter-pated to approach him, I think. She's gonna stand behind Debbie and make girly noises.
Yeah.
Yeah, and unintentionally wild shape into
Debbie
a cat.
approaches him and says, I hear you're the monster to talk to if you want to sell something.
And there's a screeching halt as he just stops his hammer halfway down
Oh no.
at the word monster and just turns his head down to look at you, which you
I meant monster armorer, am I right, guys?
I imagine that
You-
sounded
you-
like a record scratch.
yeah. It looks down at you, just way down there, and just smirks. What of it? Hits bang, bang.
Oh, we got some really great
Bang.
armor to sell. You might be interested in it. It's a little different. It saved our butts before. We would have been hamburger without it. When the stakes are really high, this is the kind of armor you want.
You're selling it.
Get it now for $9.99.
We almost suffocated.
You say you have armor to sell?
It's some seriously magical armor. We were able to survive and like
He-
avoid with it.
He looks a little frustrated, but he takes the piece that he's working with and he douses it in the trough, and there's a giant, billow of steam as it quickly
Thank
cools off, and he goes over to the forge, hits the billows a few times to heat it back up, getting ready to maybe reheat the metal once this conversation's over. Looks at all of you
That's
again.
strong.
This time he's kind of seeing you for the first time, and you see that even though he's got like a black and singed beard, there seems to be just sort of like a reddish hue to the fur.
He's a
You see-
ginger beard? You're killing me! Ah!
Dark ginger, but yes, the dark
Pretty
reddish
hot, man.
mane and stuff, and on the chest, and anyway.
Oh
he's-
yeah.
He looks at you all and says, "Okay, well, show me. What
Debbie,
have you got to show me at this hour?"
Debbie, show the man Otaro your sack.
So you pull out.
No,
Do you-
Rick gets a glare
Oh.
from Debbie. And she steps in front of him and pulls out a piece of armor. The fuck you think this your show, bitch?
So you Mary Poppins of like you open up your bag of holding and start going da da da
Rick singing.
Does Steve have something called a Venus on there? Because he
What?
wants us to sell it.
Penis?
A Venus.
We should sell his penis.
We should sell
Just say we thought it was a
Wait,
typo.
That's what we got
him
from that.
consenting to the red
I think
light
that was a
district.
I think
misspell.
so.
That was totally a
I think we have
misspell.
to go back to the jerky vendor and sell some penis.
Shit, we're gonna get a lot of money. He's pretty tiny. Also the gnome.
I don't see such a thing.
As what?
I don't think it actually is a thing. I think it was a
Yeah,
joke.
It was just him talking shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's just being a little fucked up.
So, what's your? Just want to know who I'm dealing with. What's your name? Little one?
My name is Pip Jerkins.
Nice to meet you, Pip Jerkins.
Oh.
Jeff Hazard.
You? Sorry,
Jeff Hazard.
Jeff.
Jim Hazard Pip
Okay.
Rick isn't good when he's put on the spot.
Jerkins. Pip Jerkins was on the spot
No,
when
this
you
is
wanted
great.
me.
This is great. He turns to you. You, worshiper of Bahamut.
My name is Sandra.
Yeah, so Ness just kind of just goes,
Are you okay, little one?
yes, I'm necessarily, not necessarily.
Hi, my name is Delilah Wildflower.
Delilah, nice
Well,
to meet you.
What was your name again? Sorry, I didn't.
Turkin Ragged Skull.
Oh
you,
yeah.
you now see where
Hi.
he might get his
You're
name
pretty.
from. At the top of his head, as he's been looking down, especially
Somebody write that name down.
as far down as he's got to look in order to see Debbie, you notice that near the crown of his skull on the back, there's a bit of exposure where like the skin is exposed, and there's like a bit of jutting bone that seems to like it's some sort of irregularity of growth that kind of comes
Oh
out.
God,
like a
nobody
little
look at
spine.
it.
Me.
Don't
But
look
it
at
looks
it.
it looks like a defect or some sort of like aberration. It doesn't look like it's part of
Nobody draw attention to his
nature's
weird
unnatural
mole.
plan for a minotaur. Anyway,
Mole, 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 mole.
but Delilah, what? Sorry,
Wildflower.
Wildflower, and
Ness gathers herself and says, "The name's Lindy Clunk. Nice to meet you."
Lindy Clunk.
Aaron pipes
I
up.
like your-
My name is Durgan Byrne.
Durgan Bird. This is my lover, Morgan Shern.
Sure.
Herpatur.
I'm writing all this down. All right. Well, Durgan, Mergen, nice to meet you. Just made me say well, Pip. That half plate that you're holding there.
It's pretty nice, isn't it?
He looks it up and down and holds it with one hand, holds the full like half plate in one hand just by the collar. All of the pieces kind of together. Looks it up and down.
It's hot.
Looks you up and down. Indeed. And you see the nostrils flare up as there's like just about this was yours, wasn't it?
Oh my! I think he likes you, Nikki.
I'll,
You really should wear underwear.
despite
Watch the ones you do.
hey,
Beasley, hey, get over
Craigslist
here.
suspended signals. Right? It's not allowed. You have to sign up and to register and pay a fee. And
This
everything,
guy's
you
gonna
know.
pay you. Don't worry.
No, no, but he does say that it's obviously shoddy human craftsmanship, military style, but I can see that it's got some, and like he sees that the armor that you're wearing, like sees like the crazy split mail that you're wearing, and he's like eyeing the ruins, and he's like, I can see it might have been sentimental to you. I'll give you 300 gold for it, I guess. Tosses it in the pile.
Do your split mail? Oof.
I'll give you a total at the end.
Yeah,
but
totes.
yeah, we'll go from there. The next thing that you pull out is the studded leather, and like as you hold it up to him, and he just picks it up and he just holds it away, being like, "Oh, this is somebody who's been in the bush for a while."
We're not
Maybe-
talking about the druid.
And he looks squarely at Jeff Hazard and just
Jeff Hazard.
Yeah, I love it.
Jeff the adventurer.
Jeff.
We're an
Spend a lot of
adventurer.
time in the bush.
Yeah, doing ranger things.
Doing things. I can smell that.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'll
Oh,
give you 5 gold for the leather.
Yeah. Works for me.
So what is this thing that you've brought to me that is supposed to astound me? Because this has just not been, I mean, no offense.
So Debbie like makes a big deal of it. She looks over her shoulder and she.
And you see that he's visibly taken aback by the way that you're being secretive about it, and he begins to look around too, and starts to stand in the air.
And then pulls it out and says, "We found these, and we know there's something special about them. But as you can see, we've come on some hard times, and we need the money. We wanted to keep them. We wanted to find out more about them. We know what they can do, but I bet you they can do more for the right people. So we're looking to unload them." So that we can find the right people and then take that gold back with us to do something more purposeful. So waste.
Yeah, because you decided to say all of that, go ahead and roll a persuasion check.
I keep rolling 7s. Why is it so? Okay,
Very
so 16.
Here's what you have to say, and you notice that you've lost his attention near the beginning of what you were saying. That he was studying the craftsmanship of the armor as you're like pulling it out just slightly, and he's looking at it, and he sees that what he's holding is something that is quite rare, and so he kind of ushers for you to just kind of join him just closer to like the corner of his because he doesn't have like a stall per se, he's got kind of like the corner access of where two like laneways meet. So he's got like a nice corner spot with a lot of booth space, as well as having his forge and anvil. And over to the side, he just right by the racks, he starts to look at it, and he just like squints his eyes at it, and he's looking it over, and he's looking on the inside as you're continuing to talk. And he's more things.
Do, yeah.
How many?
A few more.
take you off right now. These are fine. Where did you get these?
We found them in our journeys. Didn't even have to fight nobody. They was just on the side of the road. No dead things, just there in the wilderness on the side of the road.
Yeah.
And he keeps looking at it, and then every once in a while, he glances over at Lindy Clunker.
Lindy Clunk. Yes.
Lindy
He's
Clunk.
so into Lindy.
and just keeps checking out your armor. Now he's paying less attention to you and more to the armor itself as he's like comparing the two.
You want to get in your armor?
He's looking at the splint mail that you're wearing and the sigils upon them. And then looking at this armor, which doesn't have sigils on them, but does have the green emerald in them as well. And he's just, I don't know how many you have, but I would reckon if I can pull together the money, and I could probably find a buyer to resell this at a decent rate. So taking it off your hands, maybe 5,000 gold each set.
That's
like
alright.
each, like as he's holding the suit, right? Easily 5,000 gold for this, but like we're gonna have to meet a little bit later. I need to get that together. I don't have that in my stall.
That's totally fair, man.
How many did you want to leave
Let's
with me?
let's go with what do we say?
You had 4 that were up for that. You
I know,
were
and
thinking of some.
and at this point I want to retract my offer. I'm keeping mine. I'm keeping mine. So who else still wants to give theirs up?
Sure. I'll
Karen
sell.
does.
Karen
Karen
does.
does.
That's
I'll
true.
sell.
I do.
You do?
That's 3.
I
3?
think I will now that I've heard that offer.
Cool. So
So it's still 4 again.
Still 4, yeah.
4.
Just a
Just
different
you guys
person.
Yeah.
Make sure you mark that appropriately. It's like, okay. So 20,000 gold plus 305 for the other half plate and barely useful leather.
Oh yeah, I realize this probably isn't worth much, but I also have this length of chain that I
You already sold it.
Yeah?
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I gave you 2 silver for it.
Wait,
Yeah.
what?
You sold it before you got to it.
Aww.
Which is unfortunate because
Sorry.
that would have been hilarious.
Just like, hey, we got this.
Alright, never mind. I guess
We can pretend that happened.
It's like, okay, it's. What was it? And he looks up into the sky, and even though it's cloudy and it has been drizzling still, he's kind of seems to be gauging everything. He's looking around at the different vendors and seeing who's setting up for the day. He knows that some of them definitely work by clockwork, and he goes, "Okay, tell you what, my night here is done by the first light, which isn't long. Come back, meet me here. We'll go together to my actual storefront,
Okay.
and I'll get you the money from there. And you bring the armor at that time. You just come back and meet me." And he hands you the 305 gold right away.
So come back.
He's like, "Here's the 305 gold. Leave him the plate and the studded." And he's like, "Come back in 2 hours when he can wrap this up." And because he's still he has to tear everything down. Like, it's a process that takes a bit of time, cooling down his kiln.
And so
And all
he can
that.
call some of his buddies and make sure that.
You can hang out if you want. It's not telling you. He's just saying,
Yeah, we got more business in the market. We're gonna do some researching. I'm gonna do some acquiring of goods.
And we want to look into
Dirt.
Jeff's injury.
Jeff's injury.
Oh, yeah.
so the Minotaur does hand you 305 gold pieces.
Okay,
I don't know
I'm gonna
who
write that
wants
down.
to write this down.
Alright, it's going in a party treasury. I'll do it. 305.
That sounds cool.
Where's my? I have a sack for this specific reason.
Yeah, how many potions you got?
It's just how we roll.
Me?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You have potions you have not identified and shit like that.
Yes,
too.
I do.
Yeah, just
What are
like
you
that.
talking about? I don't have anything.
No, I mean from like the first
No, I know.
stall you
I
visited.
have it written down in
2
here.
purple
It says
potions.
2
1
times purple.
and then and
And I also have,
1 times.
where is it? It's written down over here.
Glittering.
1 glittering green
There it
potion.
is.
I'm just
Okay.
in 2 separate
Okay.
pieces.
Okay.
Maybe we should go find an alchemist after we find a music shop.
After we find a
Okay.
music shop. Rick needs something to blow his
So-
horn on.
I was actually thinking
Dude,
about asking this Minotaur guy if he wants
Are you
to help
talking-
out.
who are you
because we
talking
need
about?
a
I'm
section.
talking to the Minotaur.
Okay, you guys are still at the stall with the Minotaur talking amongst yourselves, and then Jinx approaches him and says, "Sorry." Yeah.
Oh,
I think we found a guy who
do
would
you know
move
if
that
there's
armor.
like a hospital or something around? Because my buddy got bit by some like.
And he takes a step back from the whole group of you. I'm sorry, your buddy got bit by what?
Rat people?
Some travelers, rat people,
Rat people?
maybe rat people, yeah.
And he kind of looks you up and down and kind of chuckles.
Oh boy.
Boy, have you transformed yet?
Transformed?
What?
What? I don't even know how.
I
Okay.
transformed.
That funky monkey.
He looks you dead in the eye and just says, "Okay, you're gonna need some belladonna.
Hold on.
You're gonna need a lot of it."
Oh shit.
Like, and then out of game, he describes 25 golds worth. He describes an amount that whatever that amount
is.
physically he would describe as $25 worth of belladonna.
Okay.
25 golds worth, sorry.
And
And that might help stave it off if it just happened.
Yeah, I was like yesterday.
That or you find a healer that can cast some sort of remove curse or something of the like. That'll cost you. But that'll work straight out.
Well, guys, we got a mission here.
okay, where do we get the belladonna from?
Find an alchemist or something.
And like he makes that sound, that kind of snort that bulls and horses can kind of make.
Yeah.
So into it.
He's like, I don't know, just down the way, that way, and he kind of just vaguely points. He's like, I'm sure there's lots of produce vendors over there. That's a plant, but belladonna's definitely what I had a friend once almost turned into a cow.
I like belladonna.
Ah, almost turned into a cow.
Yeah, it'd be a terrible shame. Nobody wants to be known as a werecow.
Is that
I'm sorry. This feels like a weird racist line. Like a weird, no, it's okay to be a minotaur, but you can't be a werecow.
yeah, do you guys even know that a minotaur is not a werecow though?
It's
Really?
like being a white Jew. You know, like it's okay to be a Jew if you're white.
Okay.
So Lindy says to the Minotaur, so this isn't a bite, it's a curse.
Well, yeah, once you're bit by a rat people, they crawl under the sewers, or sorry, in the underground, the catacombs and little ways. They have little societies there. They live there.
Gross.
You can go join them if it doesn't work out.
To be fair, it might be interesting to know what goes on down there.
It might be your jam.
It might be your
Jeff.
jam.
Remove curses.
Oh, please do.
I can remove
Please fix this.
Really? This whole time? Yeah, fucking remove curse?
Yes, but remember when I
Yeah.
was trying to figure out what I was trying to figure out? I was like, do I recognize it? And I just roll blow,
Right,
and then
right,
you were
right.
like, no, it just looks infected.
Okay, yeah, now you're being told that remove curse. It would
Lord,
absolutely.
fuck yeah.
Do you
Don't
have it?
need
Did
to
you
go to
cast
the
it?
hospital.
Yeah.
Did you have it prepared?
No, I did not. That's the thing. It was in the other
Later.
part.
When you go, by the way, you guys are feeling, it's really late. You're all starting
I'm
to feel
tired.
the burn.
I'm tired. I
Even
want
though
to
you
drink.
had your long rest during the
Can we get
day,
some
that
whiskey?
wasn't like a sleep. It was more of like a just
Oh,
hanging
yeah.
out and very light
Whiskey.
activity.
Yeah.
Guys, we got 2 hours to go before we can get this fucking wrapped up.
And we can cure him now. So let's go have a drink. Maybe get a bite to eat. We got a bit of cash.
Because
So if it's not
werewolf.
prepared,
I'll
that
just
means
hold
I
off
have
on that just so I can
to
fight dead
You have
horses.
to spend a long rest re-preparing your spell so that that's
end the long
included.
rest to cure him.
Okay, cool.
He'll probably be a werewolf before then, or were-rat.
I don't know.
Well, if you rest
Hey, Rick.
sometime soon, that might
Well,
be
why
good.
don't we go? Yeah, why don't we go find where's the closest
I
inn?
mean, this night has come and gone, and he hasn't changed.
Yeah. Skull Man. Wait, I have it written down. I wrote down his name. Okay, I got that right. Hold on.
Skull man.
Skull Man.
Fuck, where did I write it down?
You rhythm with your hands.
Skull. Turkin, ragged skull. Turkin. Turkey.
Yes.
Jerky lurky.
Sorry, yes, Master
Can you
Jerkins.
tell me where I can get a nice drink of whiskey around here?
Sure. That would be. I should prepare for this. The Thirsty Slayer Tavern.
First, wow, that sounds like the kind of place a Minotaur would suggest. Yo, that's metal as fuck.
It's quite popular, a little overpriced. The quality's not great, but it's gonna do, and it's open. So-
Well,
and it's just over there, and he just points over, and like you can see it, and you can hear the carousing of people inside. It's like maybe like 50 feet away.
sick. Let's go there. Thanks, man. You're a good dude. We'll see you in a couple hours.
All right, make sure you make it back here. We definitely want to make this deal.
You got it, man.
Oh, good.
And like Debbie locks eyes with him and says, "Yeah, you got it, man. Very serious."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
You're a creepy
Interesting.
motherfucker.
What is the intent behind what
The
you're trying
intent there is to communicate that even though we've been fun and jovial, no, this is a serious arrangement and you better have that money and I'm gonna have your goods
Okay.
and don't fuck with me.
to do? Okay. So, from the roll that he made, he absolutely 100% read that in what your look said, and gave you an equally communicative stare back, without
Sweet.
saying anything. That just signaled that no, this is serious as fuck, and
We're
he
businessmen.
and he
This is a
understands that this
businessman.
is a way to make some serious point for himself,
Good.
and that's all done without saying a word.
Sweet.
As you guys
This-
walk away,
This businessman eyes. We just had a thing.
and you realize as you approach
I learned
the
that from The Art of the Deal. Thank you, Donald Trump.
oh,
I should have grabbed his. Oh.
you're gonna make
Gone
Wormwood
by
great
the pussy.
again.
Like, we're like great again. Oh, can we get? Can we?
I want to
fucking
kill
butt.
myself.
Make Wormwood great again.
Make Wormwood great. Oh god, it's awful.
Sean Bales has a "Make America Great Again" hat.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
I don't know where it came from, but one of the people at my work has one. too.
Ironically, he's
That he
the
wore
most
it
Yeah.
on the floor and was like seeing his sales go.
no.
Yeah.
No, that's inappropriate.
Everyone's
were
just
just
That's
like-
so
He
political.
tried to deadpan it the whole time and like play it
That-
up like he was
that-
into it, and
That
everybody's
will
like,
be
hostile.
okay to wear after Trump is no longer
Yeah.
president, and once the states have like either failed or
14,000
not failed.
children missing. 1,400 children missing since they started cracking down and separating children from their parents to deport them. Yeah, 14,000. 1,400, I keep saying that. 1,400.
Yes, of course.
Which is crazy because they're just
More?
lost.
Yeah, no.
They're just gone. What happened to over 1,000 children?
They were given to various Republican.
Well, no, they were
sold to dog food
They were
factories.
deporting a bunch of like children and parents and stuff like that, but they just lost. These are ones that are just lost. They're unaccounted
They
for.
lost
Yeah.
these kids. Yeah,
They
slipped through the cracks.
went into the
Probably a
box
lot of
and
fucking-
disappeared.
I'm hoping they were able to get like out and like ran away and like found their parents.
Well,
or
yeah,
Probably.
like you
They're
hope
just
that.
like
hope
But
in
what
hiding.
the more likelihood is that they were sold into some sort of fucking slavery, which is the more likelihood of it, and that's the fucked up shit.
Slavery
Yeah.
exists.
It's probably wound up on like Mitch McConnell's table with an apple in their mouth.
Well, at least. No, that's still no. There's no joke there.
There's no
That's
good.
just sad.
So back to the lighthearted game of D&D.
Yes.
That
Yay!
includes all these
Wow.
things, but in a fictional way.
It's funny because it's a cow eating it, not a people.
Yeah.
Then we'll start wandering, I guess.
Yeah,
Now we're going to the.
I was trying to say before that the Thirsty Slayer Tavern that you're headed to, you do notice that it is a straight shoot from where his stall is, and that you could definitely see, if you were to be anywhere
Swell.
near the window, you could see his stall.
That's totally my plan. I'm gonna sit near the window and be watching that bitch while I drink my whiskey.
Is it attached to an inn? Because if we want to cure Jeff, we have to get a long rest.
That's more than 2 hours, though, isn't it?
Yeah, no, we can't deal
Long
with
rest is 8
this.
hours.
Yeah, we can't deal with this until we after we sell the armor. We got a 2-hour window here. We got nothing to do but sit here.
Okay.
Just
You mean-
relax.
You're basically like burning the candle at both ends.
So
at this point.
my suggestion is: does anyone here have any means by which to listen in on an environment that they are not in?
I might.
This one,
Like,
I do.
as in
This one
singing
can
like a
turn
spider
herself into.
or something like
I
that.
can be a
or-
spider.
She
Be
can,
either.
literally, she can literally be a fly on the wall.
I can. I can.
You
And
could.
I could also pass
Where are you
without a
having this
trace.
conversation?
We're over at the Slayer now, having a drink, right?
Okay,
That's
yeah.
where I had
No,
to.
we haven't
Okay.
walked into the place
Sorry.
yet.
Oh.
We haven't established that
So
yet.
I
So-
oh,
sorry.
sorry.
So
So we're on our way there?
we're walking into
Sorry,
it. We're
I thought I
walking
had
toward
said
it.
I put myself near the window so that I can.
I know, but like you said that before, I can be like, and would you like to know what the hell the place looks like,
Yes,
or
please.
anything about it, or if there is a window seat, or yeah.
Once we walk
Mostly I
away
just
and
want
we're
whiskey.
out of earshot of the Minotaur, is going to say, well, that guy was utterly helpful. I'm glad he knows his way around this.
Get out.
you
Get out. You're horrible.
No
like,
balls.
Jesus.
got that Minotaur,
You know what, you
Minotaur
could-
cock all the way down your throat. Okay.
You gonna milk that any longer?
Heh.
Pretty sure I'm not the one at the table who wanted to milk him, all three of you.
I don't know, he's making us all pretty horny.
Oh.
Ness was not interested.
in ginger blacksmithy buff Minotaur man.
Gimme.
A bit of a
Oh, God.
raggedy beard. So you walk in, and no, the place is even. What?
We really did huff it out of there. Sorry. That's my last one.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Even though it is really, really crowded in the place, it does seem a little subdued. Mostly because most of the patrons are quite trashed at this point. Some of them are carousing in a drunken manner. So there is a few like songs kind of starting up near the bar. A few, like just people doing their drinking songs, but it's half-hearted attempts and like kind of trails off after the first verse when people realize they only know the first verse. That's what everybody hears and can sing along to. And yeah, there is a. Oh, I was going to go with that, so now I'm going to go with this instead. 1 second. Sure. Elf. There is an elf behind the bar who just seems to be right now dealing with 2 unruly patrons who look like they're about to like get in each other's faces with like the dick waving contest. And as far as what seats by the window,
No, I actually had a question about the environment.
what's that?
Is it akin to a funkies, or is it more akin to something that's a little bit like? I'm sure lots of places stay open late, and that this might be the end of their night. But like, how dirty are we talking?
I would say this is more like the Canby, but like if the Canby was still open at
Ooh, I'm
4:15
gonna hate
a.m.
Everyone there.
and like continuing to still be
everyone
open.
there.
But like more subdued. It's not like the jukebox is like super going. At this point of the night, it's people trying to like get like they're having either they're quietly trying to have their drink after like a long day, and this is when they've just gotten off work. So some of them like may still be sober or just starting
Or
to
they're
get their
on their
buzz
way
on.
in.
Some of them are on their way in, yeah. You would also see around the place that some are just like looking to hook up. They're having like the sloppy conversations of courtship that like aren't making a whole lot of sense, but like they're both drunk, so they're just kind of, and then they're going to stumble out later and try to catch a sedan. And then yeah, there's the odd group of gentlemen that of different persuasions that just seem to be there, having having the piss taken out of each of them in turn, and trying to like compete in drinking, but like getting to a sore state in the night.
Are there any dartboards or pool
There
tables?
is in fact a dartboard,
Super.
and there are a bunch of people playing darts right now on the 2 boards that are available. Oh, and yeah, you're seeing like when you're looking around the crew of people that are there, you see that they're motley crew like you would expect of like metropolitan place like such as this,
but you're noticing a lot of badges now. You're seeing the symbols of different factions, and like you get the sense like everybody is sporting some sort of colors or symbol or patch, pendant, ring,
Oof.
something that denotes what faction that they belong to.
Bloods or Crips?
Kind of thing. And it's not that people are just sticking to their own kind or anything like that. People are freely intermingling. But you do notice that seems to be not like it's kind of like noticing the fashion. It's like, okay, it's all kind of varied fashion, but one thing you're noticing the trend of is the symbology of what faction people belong to. And there are a few of that are also sporting religious symbols as well. You if you grab a couple of drinks from the bar to go sit down for a
Yeah, I
table?
want to go talk to the elf bartender. I'll wait till he's done dealing with the gentlemen that are having a disagreement.
The elf bartender, who happens to be a blonde elf with fair blue eyes, but a tough demeanor on his face. Actually, a couple of scars kind of sunken into the side of his, like, right along the jawbone there. There's a couple of, like, scratch marks, like, that deep, not scratch marks, but, like, deep scars, like he'd been, like, scratched by something.
What does the disagreement appear to be about?
Between the two gentlemen, it's a dispute over who actually scored a triple 20, or sorry, triple 10.
Okay, so
in the dark game, and that it matters because like they've been at this for a while and they're unwilling to give up the darts until the game is resolved, and so it seems that they're prolonging the whole process.
I'm gonna attempt to persuade here to chill out the situation by approaching it and being like, gentlemen, there's always tomorrow night. I'm sure y'all are fine players. Maybe you can show me how it's done, and lean in to buy them a round of beer.
Okay.
And persuade while I'm doing that.
Okay. So go ahead and roll Pip's persuasion.
I rolled a 20, a nat 20.
A nat 20.
And I have a +9.
Okay. So this little halfling, sorry, this little human boy, Pip, walks up to these gentlemen and says this to them, and they turn around and look down, and they're suddenly completely charmed to be like,
I'm
well, sure,
adorable.
lad. Come on, and like a big meaty fist like hits your back, and it looks like it's the one guy is definitely a Goliath, and the other one is just a large human. And the Goliath is just like, come on, lad, and like pushes you towards
It picks me up.
and like just one hit of the hand, and you're already like 3 feet closer to the dartboard. Some darts are being thrust in your hand, and the other guys, the Goliath, are like, what's your name, lad? And like you start getting into it. So now that's what you're doing. What's everybody else doing?
I made a friend.
Drink and sit with the party, I guess.
Okay, so the party grabs some drinks.
Rick's also going to ask the innkeeper if they have any cheese of sorts.
Dude, if you want cheese, I got some cheese.
I don't trust your 900-year-old cheese.
300.
As she reaches into her breast.
It smells
Do you want this one? Wait, no, this one's better. Okay, so you asked the innkeep about that. For a round of drinks for the 5 of you, we'll say that's going to knock you a whole 3 silver pieces. Whoever wants to pay for that.
I'll buy a round.
Our treasurer.
And that includes some cheese as well. Some cheese is brought out to the table.
How many silvers and a gold?
Silvers are dimes, so it's like 30 cents.
Okay.
And a gold is any.
Cool. Alright, yeah.
Okay,
Oh, you
so
got it? Okay.
Yeah, I got it.
yeah, you get a table and all that. Though Pip is enjoying being taught and mansplained by Goliath how to. I mean, though he's she's a little boy. Sorry, pronouns. She's a little boy. that is being taught by a few drunk men
It's lovely.
how to play darts.
This is like being
And then-
back at
and
Pub
the-
340.
Yeah.
And like the elf just seems relieved when this
Yes.
happens, and then is able to turn and take your order. So that's when like money is transacted, and you
So
guys
then
go
you
take
got
a
it.
table.
You guys are paying for it. I'm busy.
Okay, then I guess I am paying for it.
We're gonna say you are able to get a seat by the window. There is one booth that happens to have that happens to be available. The rest of the place seems to be pretty bumping though. There's a few servers that are rushing around too. They seem to be of an elven persuasion as well. Similarly blonde-haired, blue-eyed. And yeah, let's go. Debbie, how long are you putting?
I just entertain them for a little bit, and then I say, "You gentlemen have a lovely night," and I leave them with the beers that I wanted to give them.
Okay, I want you to roll 3 ranged attacks real quick. So just
3 ranged attacks. Oh, because of darts. I see.
I just want to see how you did. See if you get any nat 20s here.
26. 15.
Uh-huh.
And 17. Probably
Right on.
alright.
No, that is definitely like all 3 solidly hit the board in places that you'd want to hit, and the 26th, the very first shot, ended up being like the near bullseye. You know, the outer part that's
Nice.
Yeah.
the green.
I rolled a
Not the bullseye?
19 on that.
Yeah, you got a 25 pointer right there. The 17, you got a double 20, and the 15, you got a single 20.
They're very impressed, aren't they?
They're pretty impressed. You got it like all in one row,
What are their
like
names?
one straight. What are their names?
What are their names? You asked us for each of our names. What are their names? These are my buddies, man. I made friends. 29 on the persuasion. My drinking buddies.
Well, the Goliath just goes by the name Fomth, which is Fomth.
Font?
Yeah. And the human goes by Paulson.
Is
Paulson and Salt.
Who?
Cool. Need a burrito. So, then after enjoying my my company with them, I
yeah, you go
approached
join.
I approached the bartender
Okay.
and I say, huh, end of the night, am I right? And the guy's relieved, I assume.
Yeah, he seems
Then
pretty happy with
I-
it, and it seems to be, but he's looking at you a little strange, as you seem a little young to be in here, even though like there are laws in Sigil
Oh
for
yeah,
sure.
don't let my looks fool you,
Um,
man. I'm old enough to be
Roll a
here.
deception.
I'm deceptive. I'm so deceptive. I don't even know what deception is. A 6. 20.
20.
20.
Yeah, you.
Ah, what are you doing?
Sorry, get to that in 1 second. Dave.
Yep.
Do we need to wrap this up like right now? Are you crashing, or do you need
I
to?
do need to catch a bus eventually.
Okay.
It's
When-
12:16.
Yeah. When is eventually for buses for you?
I will check that right now.
Just because I'm awake enough, I can keep going here for just a little bit longer. But
Oh,
we
and I
should
only
wrap
have
it up
this is a
soon.
quick interaction. I know what I'm planning.
I know. I'm trying. See how far we get. I just want to see how much time I have.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, buses are pretty intermittent now. I'm not going to catch the bus that's going to go 3 minutes. So the next one would be in like 40 minutes. So if we went for another half hour, that should give me enough time to like bolt over there.
Okay, so another half hour, so we'll say it's almost 12:20, 12:50, or do you want it 12:45?
12, 40, 45.
Yeah, it says 40 minutes till the next bus. So yeah, like it'd be something. So yeah, 12:45, 12:50 at the latest, I guess. And I'd have to like run.
So you approach, and yeah, he's relieved with that, and you rolled for Jesus Christ. Oh, deception. That's right. And he looks you up and down, and just says, "I haven't seen one of the little folk around here in a while. At least not around my tavern. How can I help you, little one?"
You're highly recommended. This seems to be a nice establishment. I know it's quite late.
He just kind of chuckles in that, knowing like I'm a bartender who's seen a lot of shit,
Yeah.
and this is nothing
None.
special. Thanks for the compliment.
Yes.
Anyway,
Alright. I would like
might have some
some fine whiskey from him.
All right, I got that.
And wanted to ask him if he knows anything about a gentleman named... Where did I fucking write it down? I just wrote Turkin Skull.
Turkin. Oh yeah, he's one of my best customers.
Yeah, he recommended this joint.
Oh, awesome! I'm gonna have to thank him for that. I always like that he sends people my way.
He's a good dude, right?
Yeah, he's been carving out an honest living among the rest of us folk here in Sigil in the Great Bazaar.
Been in the bazaar for long.
For as long as I've known, yeah.
You been here long too, man?
I've been here with my family for about a decade now.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Right on. That's great, man. That's a good joint.
Yeah.
So thanks for the whiskey.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You
And, wait, he asked you, wait, for the whiskey, did you want, I have some from Toril, I have some from Kryn, I have some from a place called Arth, I have, that's O-E-A, I forget how they spell it, but it's the equivalent to Earth.
You know, they've been saying for a long time that if you want a good whiskey, you want it from Arth, but I'm just saying you're paying too much when you might as well get one from... I don't know what the first place you said.
You said, Toril.
Torril's fine.
Toril's the place that you know Sedan, the guy from the Clockwork place, is from.
Nice. All right. So
He's a human from Toril.
Toril, yeah, I've had that before. Let's have that one again.
Yeah, apparently they have the same whiskey in every bar in Waterdeep. Here you go. And he hands you a couple of shots of it. He assumes a shot for everybody at the table.
Yeah.
Is that what you're
Yeah,
buying?
and one for the bartender as well.
He said, thanks. And he just puts it under and he passes it off to one of his servers, who he kisses on the cheek.
Aw, that's adorable.
She takes a quick shot and continues on, and thanks him.
Yeah.
Continues on.
Yeah. Right on. I rejoin the party.
Okay.
That's it.
So you guys are at the table together with a shot of Waterdeep whiskey.
What did that cost me?
Oh, Waterdeep whiskey is going to cost you 1 gold for sure.
As long as it's not watered down whiskey.
You're
No.
watered down whiskey.
Gold
Thanks,
for
Pip.
the round.
Welcome.
I say Pip like that, like Pip.
can all agree.
Lindy.
Pip, sure, yeah.
Lindy Clunk to
Hip
you.
hip hooray!
Oh, what are you doing with Mergen?
Huh?
Well, Durgan's in there with you, but what are you doing with Mergen?
I
Oh,
guess he come in with us. Would he
I wrote
fit
this shit
there?
down, guys. Come on.
Mergen come in with
Yeah,
us?
would he fit? I guess.
Mergen can stay outside.
when you attempt to bring Mergen, when you attempted to bring Mergen into it, it was met by a lot of like, what the fuck? This is not meant for.
Leave your dog outside, man.
There's a place to tie animals up outside, like the stall,
Suddenly
like
you're
trough
in
kind
his
of
head
thing.
like Denica. Oh, what? This isn't good enough.
I'm unclear on how the summer thing works.
This is
We
my
can just-
support dragon. I have the license. It's just at home right now. I can bring him anywhere.
Yeah, I'm unclear on how the Eidolon thing works. He just unsummon him and then.
Yeah, you can
comes
just
back?
unsummon him. You
Okay,
could really
doesn't
just do
cost
that.
him
Let's just do
anything?
that. Boom.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. For the sake of sanity, Kirix has been unsummoned. Sorry, pal. Okay, good. Now nobody can steal you.
Back in your Pokeball.
Mergen.
Which one's Mergen and which
Mergen
one's
Durgan!
I've crossed out.
Mergen
names.
is
I've
gone.
seen cheats
Durgan
replace
is at
them
the
with
table
other
doing
names.
a shot with you. With you, Jeff,
Oh, I wish it was
Dahlia,
Mergen.
and Lindy.
I wish it was Mergen, not Durgan. We're Hergen.
So Pip, Jeff, Dahlia, Lindy, Durgan, you all do a shot together, and what?
Watch the window and hang out and
Okay.
talk shit about shit.
kind of carouse for a bit.
Yeah,
kind
we
of
gotta
thing?
waste some time, bitches. We can go play some darts with my new friends if you want. Waste time until we can go back, and I'm gonna just be watching that front door in case we see anybody going in and out.
Mm.
Okay,
Yeah.
excellent.
I'm up for a game of darts to pass the time.
Cool. Do you? All right. So they're like, excellent. We're gonna do this. All right, lads, come join us. What's your name?
Lindy.
Lindy. Nice to meet
Lindy
you.
Clunk.
I'm Paulson. This here is Fump. Not my Fump.
It's like the sound of a ball being sucked into something.
Listen. Fump, go take 5. Go take 5. And he just kind of groans, and he goes back up to the bar and sits down. So it's just you and Paulson for a moment. And he's like, okay, friend, you already know how to play darts, right?
Yeah. Aim at
You're not like your friend.
aim at the middle.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Right.
Oh god.
Right. So you definitely want to. You know that it's totally part of the rules. We both put down some money to play a friendly game of darts, right?
Friendly game. Yeah.
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 So he takes out silver, and he's just eyeing you, seeing what you're doing. He puts it down, on the table, on the on the ledge that is nearest you guys. It's not a table, but like that standing ledge that you can put your drinks down on.
Yes. Yeah.
He puts his silver piece down. He's like, okay, want to ante up?
You can do it, but you can do a setup, I believe.
Okay. So I put a silver piece next to his piece, and I say,
Okay.
the winner gets both of them.
Right.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
You get 3 shots at it.
Okay.
Okay. And so does he. What you're going to do is you're going to roll d20 3 times.
Mhm.
You're going to add only your dex bonus.
Okay.
Okay. And you're looking to try to get. Well, let's see what you get.
X is no good.
Oh boy.
Oh. Okay. So that was a 19.
18 plus 1.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Next one.
Okay, that was just a 10, but I have
Okay.
one more.
Yeah.
14.
14.
Hooray! Not
Excellent.
bad.
Really good shot. Really good. And he's like,
He
yeah,
hit
you
the
did.
board each time. Except for that one.
What?
We're just gonna just the edge.
Yeah, it just
It
made
hit
it onto
the
the
board
circle.
barely. Ugh. Can somebody pull me in half the other way?
Okay. So you see your 3 darts on the board, and like you did really good. Looks like you got a lot of points. And he's like, yeah, no, you got. And he gives you a total, and it's something like 43. He's like, oh, you got 43 points. This is really good. And he goes, and he hits 15. 15 again. 30.
On day 5.
He has to beat
Sit on your own face.
43.
Hmm.
You need to take some ribs out of it.
Oh. Good
Manages
game.
to get 50 total. He's like, thanks. You want to go again?
Good game. Good game. Ugh.
You guys can. We can say that you spend the next whatever amount of time you guys want to advance. If it's just the 2 hours that you're burning,
Mhm.
we can say the 2 hours burn pretty quickly.
Jinx wants to do something.
What's that?
She's gonna go up to the bartender and ask, if there's any shops open right now where I could get some herbs, man.
Herbs.
Yeah.
And he's looking at you, and you can tell right away he's high elf. He's definitely high elf. That blonde hair is golden. His blue eyes are like sapphires. He is handsome as fuck. And you're a wood elf. You're the pumpkin.
Yeah.
You're a country elf. I need. Sorry?
Oh, sorry, I was gonna say, is he as high and elfish is though?
He's not.
Different kind of hat. Dick.
Well done, sir. Well done. 5 experience points. Just for this. He says, oh, herbs? And he looks you up and down and just says,
Herbs.
and looks at your hands are still dirty from filling up Girin's helmet of comprehend
I'm holding
languages
that
full
still
of
in my
soil.
hand.
Oh my lord.
In my arm. Under my arm.
Yeah, and you're still holding it, and he's like, I don't know. I think out in the bazaar there's definitely somebody who can sell you herbs. He goes back to like pretending like, and he's obviously cleaning something that is.
Thank you. All right.
He's just saying, yeah, basically anywhere out there in the bazaar, you'd be able to get that if you wanted to.
Yeah.
You have those 2 hours. Are you going back out into the bazaar?
Yeah,
while
I'm
the
gonna
rest
go
of
back to
group
the
sits at
table and just tell them, hey guys, I gotta go do something. I'll be back, like, pretty quick. Okay, see ya. And then I walk off.
Okay, Jinx adventure time.
Jinx adventure time.
Jinx goes back into the bazaar. What is she looking for? She's looking for herbs.
Nightshade. Jinx
Oh my
is looking
God.
for nightshade.
We can get you some drugs later. Why is this a priority?
You know, this is important. I need belladonna, so I don't turn you away.
Yeah, he needs belladonna.
Yeah, I'm
Anyway,
looking for
Nightshade.
belladonna and
You're looking
nightshade.
for nightshade.
I'm looking for nightshade mainly, and
Make an investigation.
that's my investigation. 13
Plus what?
plus 0.
Excellent.
13.
Okay. Well, after some inquiry, you do find that there is one stall that is actually just finished setting up for the. Here, let me
Stupid
advance
dead
the
dog.
time here. Yeah. Cool. So you do get some instructions eventually to a place that is like just setting up for the day. You're noticing at this point light it is starting to wane from anti-peak to peak finally. That quote unquote dawn might be very, very soon. And you find a stall that seems to be selling some different herbs. They happen to have the nightshade you're looking for, and they have enough belladonna.
Perfect.
They have it's 25 golds worth of belladonna.
Okay, I don't have that,
Okay.
but
well, at least you know they're there.
I'm gonna get some nightshade.
Okay. How much nightshade would you like to get?
How much is the nightshade, really?
How much would you like to spend on nightshade?
I'll spend a gold on
You
nightshade.
want to get a gold's worth of nightshade? I would say let's start with a silver. So a silver's worth of nightshade would get you like a good amount of dried nightshade that you could like say put in a sack, or like it's a bushel, it's tied.
Okay,
I don't know
cool.
what nightshade looks like.
Okay,
Nightshade
so a
looks like
silver?
it's a flower, right?
Yeah.
All right, so it wouldn't be a jar because it wouldn't be necessarily that kind of place to be able to have a jar, but it's wrapped in
Yes.
paper, brown
Okay.
paper,
Cool.
and it's a very large supply of it. I would say for doses for 1 silver, you get enough nightshade for we'll say 10 doses.
Okay.
You may have
Perfect.
more nightshade if you want to be able to buy.
Yeah, you know what? Let's do.
But they only have. Well, they have 4 more of those bundles. They have 4 more 1 silver bushels.
876.
Yeah, man.
51. I'm buying all of them.
So
51.
51 copper.
No,
It's 1 silver per bushel, so you
Yeah.
want to buy all 5.
all 5, yes.
So 5 silver.
Yes. Yes.
So you have. Oh, Jesus.
So I know I have 51 doses of nightshade.
Yes, you do. And you realize that this is a lot to carry. You're putting them all into a sack. They give you a sack to like maybe put them in, like all your brown paper packages, and like it's wrapped bushels. And you're like, okay, here you go. Here's all your dry ingredients. And then they pack it up for you, and there you go. So you have a large sack full of nightshade.
Cool. I just sling it on my back and
You return back
return back to the table.
to the... Okay. Jinx went and scored some drugs. And, sorry, Dave. She didn't score any drugs for you.
I didn't have enough gold, man,
Sorry,
but there's
Jeff.
totally enough nightshade for you to go, and it's $25, and it's just down the road, and I can show it to you. But I really only had like two
Yeah, that
gold.
is enough nightshade for
Belladonna, I mean Belladonna. There was Belladonna down there. I mean, I just kind of noticed that they had. Did they have nightshade? No, I don't really think they had. Well, I guess maybe they had nightshade. I wasn't really paying attention.
Nightshade, by the way.
Yes.
Nightshade has
Does
any
nightshade
kind of
have a
smell.
smell?
I'm kind of sweating a little bit. It's like, yeah. So if you want to get healed, I recommend going up that way with some cash. I don't have cash.
But I think that stuff
I'm
is
broke,
really
give me your
poisonous. I don't know how that would work.
The Belladonna?
Yeah.
No, we'll fix you up. I got a herbalism kit. I got you. You just gotta buy it.
Okay. So,
I got you, man. Got you, buddy.
whether or not her convincing works, enough time has passed during her recounting of this that you know it's starting to get significantly lighter outside. And at this point, from across the way, and Debbie, you've been watching
Yes, I've been
Perfect.
glaring. Yeah,
glaring.
Glaring.
Can you make a perception check?
I'm so perceptive.
Percept for me,
Percept
please.
so hard. I'm
Perceive it.
getting like. I just want to warn y'all. I fall asleep at this time every night, and I have noticed lately in my life, it is something to do with age. I can't resist it at a certain point. I start getting like stupid. And like I can't think, and I get like grumpy and angry, and I'm like laying there in bed, always like trying to read Twitter and just be like, why am I so mad? Just need to go to fucking sleep. 19. I'm percepting
19.
at a 19.
You're percepting at a 19, so you fully noticed Turkin as you're watching him and paying attention enough, not missing a beat, as there are very few patrons who come through in the last couple of hours, and he seems to be like tearing down everything and like not turning things off, but like, you know, cooling down the kiln and everything, and making sure that the forge is starting to cool down. Putting away the wares and securing it for the night. Seems like he puts everything in certain crates and puts a lock on them, and then seems to be ready to go. There's
Sweet.
no suspicious
Hey,
activity.
hey, bitches. You should probably go meet that guy. It's been like 2 hours, right?
It's been about that. I
It's
think.
been about that.
Cool.
I give warm, fond, loving hugs to my new dark friends
Yeah.
and tell them we should totally do this again
Oh,
sometime.
at this point they have left, but you've said goodbyes to them on
Okay.
the way out. We'll
Okay,
say.
well,
But like we're at the point where like most
I-
everybody has like.
I just want to make a
straggled
point
out.
to say that before they left,
Yeah.
I encouraged them to start a dart league
and
and promise that I would come down and participate. Because
Okay.
Debbie's like that.
Debbie!
She's
all
a
right.
man of the
I found
people.
this on the road the other day.
We're gonna take forever.
No.
Just gonna get through this real quick, because it is almost 1:45. We need to let Dave leave.
No,
Never.
no, Dave's stuck here forever.
So you follow the Minotaur back out. Like you meet up with Turk, and he greets you. He's like, he looks pretty tired himself. He's ready to turn in, and he leads you down to his shop, which isn't too far from where you are. It is just over here at the edge of the bazaar. There seems to be one building that looks like it's some sort of storefront on the bottom that is just being opened for the day, and there's a couple of half-elves busying about, and there's armor, and there's weapons, and there's all kinds of stuff that look like they were made by him, like the same kind of style and the way that he designs his stuff.
Huh.
And he kind of just nods at them as he walks through the front door and lets you kind of just stay by the front door. Just kind of waves them off, kind of letting them know that you're cool, saying just wait here a second. And he goes into the back and he brings it out and he's like,
and he's bringing out like a chest.
Ooh.
And he's like, okay, you got that armor on you still, right?
Sure do.
You got the armor? There's nothing going on around you that would give you any suspicion.
Okay.
I'm trying to get to
Yeah.
the scene.
Yes.
Trying to give you
Yes.
money.
Done.
Okay. So, despite all your hesitation, yes, you slowly and suspiciously take the armor out of the bag and lay it out, and you catch the attention. Like every once in a while, one of the half elves that are like busy about to look over and and like just keep going back to what they're doing, like noticing something special about them. And he counts out for you. He's like, okay, that's 20,000 gold, jink. And he's like, and he reaches into the chest as he opens up the chest. And he starts taking out, and some of it's in platinum, some of it's in gold, but I'm just going to give you the gold value of it.
Okay.
It is a lot of coin to carry as he counts out 20,000 coins. Not exactly 20,000 coins, it's a little less than that because of the platinum, but you end up with 20,000 gold pieces.
20,305.
Right. Which he hands over to you, and once he realizes how much is left in the chest, he's just like, well, do you have enough room to I guess you do have enough room to put that in the bag of holding.
Yeah, once I get rid of the armor, I can put the.
But he's handing it to you in sacks. Like
Yeah.
each sack is a couple of grand.
Yeah.
And he's just like, okay. Like, yep, there's a couple thousand, there's a couple thousand. He's counting it out.
Nice.
You guys
We're
are
there for a
in
while.
20,000 gold pieces.
Shit.
Nice.
And you've marked off the half plate studded leather and
Yeah,
4 suits of void armor.
I wiped it out.
Okay.
Debbie kept
So-
her armor because when she gets back to having her ship, she might need it.
Why is
Wait,
that
more
armor
on the
so
ship.
special?
There might be more on the ship.
Why is it so special? You don't know?
No.
He just looks at you. By the way, roll deception. Because you're bullshitting him. You're bullshitting the Minotaur.
Oh yes. What's his name? Turkin.
Skull fucker.
Ragged skull.
Ragged Skull. I was like Skull Rattler or something.
Oh,
not
20.
20.
Oh!
But it was a -1, so it's a 19.
No, it's still a nat 20. It's still a nat 20.
Woo!
Oh my goodness.
Way to pull it
Oh my
out. I
goodness.
love it.
Yeah, no, you're very convincing. Like,
What?
you don't know.
Dude.
And he realizes, like, you get that look on his face that you recognize of, like, oh, I could have nailed that. And you realize that probably the phrasing he's using in his head, I could have milked them anyway. But just,
And he's just
Accurate.
like fondling it at the same
Yeah.
time.
It's accurate. It's fair.
I bet you he has nipples like just like this.
Yeah. Alicia,
They're
will
like,
will you write me some like erotic fan fiction with
You need to
Turkin,
ask-
please?
no, you need
Please.
to ask that
Turkin
of
fanfic.
Alex.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Alex
The
writes.
silver
used to
hag.
write that,
Alex was
yeah.
The silver hag, that
The
wrote
silver
Finger
hag
Honey
has to
and,
write about the Minotaur.
Remember Finger
Lin-
Honey and Four
You weren't
Pounds of
here,
Mouse?
were you?
Was I here for
You
that?
missed us.
No,
reading
you
that.
missed
Yeah.
Did you never get to read 4 Pounds and a Mouse?
Would you
Or
like me
Finger
to
Honey?
read it to you? Because I have it.
Oh,
in a
after
second.
this.
We're going to finish
After
the
this.
session first, real quick. So,
Okay.
What is this?
yeah, you need to write fanfic about Ness. Well, not
Lindy.
Ness.
No, me.
Lindy.
Lindy
Clunk?
Clunk.
Lindy Clunk, aka actually CJ, actually. with a Minotaur named Turkin
Turkin.
Ragged Skull.
Oh, describe him again. It was so good.
It was a bit of a ginger
Ginger bearded Minotaur.
With
bearded
nipples
bully.
out to here.
No,
Yeah.
Just like
but he did have pierced nipples and a pierced septum ring, and they all matched.
6 of them.
And he was a big buff blacksmith who was like working the iron and like
Yeah.
buffing it out.
And what were you saying? He was
And he had his red hot rod.
his red hot rod.
Beating it out with his other.
Beating it with his red hot.
It writes itself.
let's finish this scene before Dave has to go. Yep.
Yes, please. Oh, yeah, it is daytime. Okay. So, yeah, the end of the scene is did you have anything else you were asking of him? Because,
No, he
Yeah.
didn't tell me why it was so
What's his
special.
number?
why is it so special? And he's
No.
like, well, I can tell that it's magical for one thing. And the craftsmanship is nothing like anything I've ever seen before, and that alone is worth the price.
Words start to go sideways.
You know
I
where
would
it
keep
comes
your
from?
hoodie forever.
Is that aged? Is that what's happening to me? This never used to happen to me. I can't read.
Never learned.
No.
No.
I get to a level of sleep.
Thank you.
I'm not sure if you believe it.
No, I'm not. Not if I believe them.
No, you're not sure if you believe it.
Well,
He says no. And we're going to leave it there. You guys are exiting his shop with a ton of money in your pocket.
A
At the edge of the
literal
bazaar.
shit ton.
Right at 6 a.m., well, about 6:30 a.m. when the bazaar is about to get into full
Let's go take a
swing.
nap, bitches.
Yeah.
Yes, let's take a long rest.
So that you can heal Rick. And
Yes.
Cure him.
Please.
Yes.
You don't want to be a were-rat?
No.
Do you want to get the belladonna on the way back?
Well, no, if we're gonna do the resting anyways, we don't need
Yeah,
to.
you need to see those.
Bonko looked to Bubbles, who was feeding a rather large chunk of cheese to Cheezers with a dash of envy behind his heavily pigmented eyes. Oi, Bubbles, ye had your turn with him.
You weren't kidding.
Bonko spitted at him. Bubbles looked
Okay.
back at him confused. But I only just got to play with him, Bonko. Bubba said it was my turn. Cheezers nipped and nibbled at his prize. His tiny paws gripped the cheese so he could climb to the peak, chewing it with glee.
Alex wrote this?
Yes. Bonko growled low in his chest and grabbed a hold of Bubbles' bye, sweetheart. Grabbed a hold of Bubbles by the jaw, his rough fingers smearing white makeup beneath them. Give him here, he demanded as he brought the trembling Bubbles closer. He felt his breath against his lips, the breath of a terrified man, nay, a terrified clown. As he brought Bubbles closer, he could swear he felt his heartbeat. Or was that? Yes. Somewhere the little scamp had crawled up Bonko's sleeve. Startled, he leapt back and fumbled, tripping over his own size 18 shoes and into the strong tattooed arms of bouncing Bob. Bob, shh. Bob replied, putting his finger to his bright pink mustache. Bob, it's Cheezers. Oh. Bouncing Bob chuckled and reached slowly up Bonko's shirt. He grabbed the mouse and gently cupped him in his hands. Shh, little one. I got you. He pulled out the mouse from under Bonko's shirt, stroking the mouse gently. Just then, a very naked Jojo the Clown walked in. All but his shoes honked with every step. Well, boys, whose turn with Cheezers is it?
That's all based on what Alex wrote fanfic within the universe as Elko the Silver Hag, which is these were found on Mighty Sven's bookshelf.
Oh, fantastic. Alex, you
The other one's called Finger Honey, and I recommend you read it.
It's a good one. I like that one much more.
You can take it out with you and read
Can
just bring it back.
Read it on the bus.
Oh,
Read it on the bus and laugh your ass off.
Okay.
My best and lowest works.
I'm gonna try and catch that
It's
same
where you
bus, I
really
think,
shine,
if I
sweetie.
can.
But like, give me limitations
No,
on
he
the
wants to
Minotaur
come back
one,
in 40 minutes.
please.
Don't. Goodbye, darling. Thank you for feeding me donuts.
Yes, thank you so
I
much.
hope you can make it on Tuesday.
Oh, I know. I hope I don't get called out, and then I can come on Tuesday. Would it be here or
Here.
Yeah.
Here.
Okay. Yay. Okay.